Hello, kids. My name is Matt Murphy. This is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, underway for another day and another week. Happy President's Day. This Monday, February the 16th. It's 2026. I think I've got the year right. We appreciate you being with us, whatever time you're able to give us. We're certainly appreciative of that. I will introduce the players of the show presently after I remind you it is episode 978 of our gatherings together. 978. Men, a little over 2 weeks before our wait, check your math there, Murphy. Men, a little over 3 weeks before we celebrate 1,000 episodes of Matt Murphy on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. When I say men, I'm talking about the men and women in this listening audience, but I'm also talking about the men I'm looking at beyond the glass. There's Jackson Williams. He comes first. He gathers your telephone calls, gets them on air, and generally speaking, make sure that everything that we do on the radio sounds as good as humanly possible, and that's yeoman's work. Hello, Jackson.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
You've not hit up Wally's Bean Machine, have you?
I have.
Have you?
I have.
I feel like you...
I had a hot cocoa before the show.
You know what I got right here? You know what I'm rocking right here?
You're also drinking a hot cocoa.
Well, I am. I'm going to tell you what else is in it in just a moment. And no, it's not liquor.
It's beer.
Ken Weaver's back behind the second pane of glass. He's the News Closet B. He gathers headlines for a living, delivers them twice an hour in winter breaks. What's going on, man?
How about you boys?
Y'all have a good weekend?
Had a great weekend.
How about your holiday? How's that going for you?
Holiday?
Yeah, that's what they tell me.
Oh, President's Day?
President's Day. Which
I forgot to do shopping for it, so I'm in the doghouse.
Are you?
Yeah.
Got to go buy the mattresses. There's apparently a white sale.
It's also a holiday on this show.
Is it now?
Today is the first day Mike from Old Hickory can call in.
Oh, that's true. Jackson, I'm so glad you reminded us of that.
And I didn't. Lawrence in the chat.
Okay, so the YouTube chatters, who are a crazy bunch of people, they're already anticipating the call from Mike and Old Hickory?
They are.
Well, I mean, look, Mike survived his, what did it end up being, a 3-week, almost a 4-week ban?
Yeah.
It was about a month ban. It was going to go till February the 1st, and then Mike and Old Hickory said, I'll bet you that we don't get any ice. And I said, okay, well, we'll bet you 2 weeks against your appearance on this radio show. And he was wrong, and we were right, and so we extended his ban by 2 weeks. What's the odds that Mike just doesn't call?
He might be celebrating the holiday.
I mean, there might be big polk events going on today, or Jackson events for that matter. I'm certain. I checked this a couple of years ago. I was coming back from, this is when I was still making, this was probably 3 years ago now. On President's Day, I was working. I was still doing noon to 3. Brian Wilson still in the afternoon drive slot. And I was driving back from Alabama to do my noon show, and it was about, 9 o'clock in the morning, thereabouts. Am I remembering this correctly? I think I am. And I stopped in Columbia. Didn't know anything about Columbia, but I knew that Columbia was the hometown of a fabulous United States president by the name of James K. Polk. I'm going to say James Polk. This is a total guess, man. And I know you Tennessee residents, you long-time, you unicorns, you're going to destroy me if I get this wrong. I'm going to say James Polk was our 11th president. That is a total guess.
Look it up, Brother Jackson.
Jackson, fact-check me on that. Total guess, James K. Polk, the 11th president of the...
That is correct.
Yeah, give me a little Murphy was right.
That's what
I'm going to need, thank you. I'm going to need a little something.
Yes, sir.
Give me a little something there, Jackson. You should always have this Murphy is right at your fingertips.
Murphy is right. Murphy is right.
Murphy is right. Murphy is right. Oh, leave this up for a second. This also has some particular significance today. It is the Murphy is right theme. You hear this often when I am right about something or another along those lines. But this also comes from the fabulous feature film Apocalypse Now. It is Ride of the Valkyries by Wagner. But this selection of music was playing in the background when Robert Duvall's character in Apocalypse Now, whose name eludes me, Captain something or another.
Logan something.
Was it?
Yeah, let me look that up.
You remember, everybody remembers I Love the Smell of Napalm in the Morning.
Yes, sir.
You know what the last line of that monologue is my favorite line of that monologue, though. The last line of that monologue is, "It smells like victory." Which is always good. But my favorite line of Robert Duvall's in Apocalypse Now was "Charlie, don't surf." And he screams that line because they're going in, if y'all don't remember the movie, they go in to take a beachhead and they kill a bunch of locals because they want to surf the beachhead. And so they destroy a village expressly for the purpose of surfing. And the new guy's like, wait a minute. You know, he's like trying to question him in the helicopter. He's like, what are we doing again? And why are we doing it again? And I'm sorry, sir, is this what we're doing? And he looks at, and as if to answer everything, he says, "Charlie, don't surf." And that was it. And so they took the beachhead and killed everybody, and then they went surfing.
That would be Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore.
Kilgore. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. And that he played that music on blast when they were taking care of business against the village because he said it freaked him out when they came over the horizon. What a great movie. I would guarantee that Jackson Williams has never seen Apocalypse Now.
No.
And, you know, I could assign you that movie this weekend if we still played our movie game.
Yeah, that you killed.
I didn't kill it.
You killed it.
All you got to do is forgive me and not watching the movie. We can start it up again.
Yeah, you got to watch Bad Santa.
That's a...
It's a tall order.
yeah, that's a tall order.
Ken.
I'm sorry.
I tried to watch it.
What, Bad Santa?
Yeah, I tried to watch. I just couldn't do it.
It's pretty nasty.
I'll watch it if we can crank this movie back up again. This movie thing back up
I'm down.
again. I'm ready to go because I'm now in the new house. Hold on, I have to cough now.
You're gonna watch a Christmas movie and it's not even Thanksgiving.
Well, Jackson won't do the movie game with me anymore until I watch it. He says I violated the rules too much, Ken. And you know what? He's right.
Yeah.
He's right. So I guess I have to suck it up, watch a Christmas movie, and it's not even Christmas, and then we can get it back going again, and I can make him watch Apocalypse Now, which is a 3+ hour journey into hell is what that is. The horror. The horror. Have you ever heard it? The background on that flick? I mean, Robert Duvall was the sane one, right? Martin Sheen was strung out on drugs. That scene where Martin Sheen is in the hotel room and he's waiting on his orders and he's freaking out because I guess he's on
LSD.
He's on LSD
right?
or something, and where he's doing the karate moves and he hits the mirror and it bloodies his hand.
Yeah.
He really hit that mirror, and it really did bloody his hand. He was not supposed to hit the mirror. It was accidental, but they kept filming with the blood and all.
Nobody said cut.
Nobody said cut.
Ba-doom-ba.
Hey! Cut! No, he's not cut. Keep going.
Now, this is the movie where Marlon Brando's character fancied himself a god, right?
That is correct. Loosely based on the Hearts of Darkness or Heart of Darkness, the novel. William, what was his name? Colonel Kurtz, I think. Yes, he fancied himself a god, and he was supposed to be a physically dominating specimen, Ken.
Right.
And Marlon Brando agreed to the role. Francis Ford Coppola, of course, directed the film. And Coppola told him, you got to get in shape. And he was like, don't you want to get in shape? And he didn't get in shape. So he was like morbidly obese. He weighed like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And Coppola's like, what am I supposed to do with this? The man weighs 300 pounds. I cannot possibly present him as a colonel in the United States military. And that's why they shot it the way that they shot it, where he's all in shadows and all in darkness and you can't really see his body, because Marlon Brando was morbidly obese.
He was Jabba the Hutt before there was Jabba the Hutt.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The horror. Man, oh man, what a great flick, though. And Robert Duvall, if you've not heard, has passed away at the age of 95. And my goodness, it's difficult for me to be. I mean, you're always sad when you hear about somebody like that passing. You're sad for the family and whatnot, but hard to be sad for a life well lived, man. 95, and what a tremendous career. I've never heard a bad word about Robert Duvall.
Never have.
Right?
I never have either.
And heard a lot of good things. Apparently, our own Brian Wilson got to meet him.
Awesome.
Yeah, Brian posted this on his Facebook page. Maybe Brian will give us a call if he's listening to tell the story. That would be cool. Said that he met him when he was working at Fox News that he was coming in to do an interview with Fox News, and said he got to spend about 30 minutes with him.
I tell you what, I'll tell everybody right now, my favorite movie with Robert Duvall is The Apostle.
The Apostle is an incredible acting performance.
The last half hour, that sermon is the best freaking sermon I have ever heard.
Incredible performance. Robert Duvall was robbed of an Oscar, in my opinion.
I think so, too.
For that performance.
Probably because it was steeped in, love of Jesus.
Yeah, that's right.
And
that's right.
What I loved about it so much is it was an imperfect man.
Mm-hmm.
He was a preacher.
That's right.
But he was human.
That's right.
But he never lost faith in God or Christ. And I'm telling you, man, that last half hour, whoo, boy, that is a sermon.
I'm trying to think of my favorite Robert Duvall role. I mean, that's just a toughie, man. That's just
There's so
tough.
many.
There's so many good ones, and they're so diverse, right? He could play. If it were not for Robert Duvall, Days of Thunder would not be a beloved guilty pleasure.
Really?
No, Robert Duvall is the glue.
He's the one that does
that held that show together. He sold that movie. If Robert Duvall doesn't exist, we goof on that movie. It is buffoon. I mean, he held that thing together, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because he sold it. I mean, go watch the monologue that Robert Duvall does to the car, where he's talking about making the car. I'm going to make it perfect. I'm going to tilt you just right. Nobody can do that scene and make it realistic. And he did it.
He can.
And he did it. Secondhand Lines is a great flick, too.
Outstanding.
With
outstanding.
Michael Caine and Robert Duvall.
Yes.
Oh, so good. So when they confront the young punks in the store.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. It's hard to go against The Godfather, though, y'all. I mean, yeah, I understand that the youngsters these days can't sit through a 3-hour movie that doesn't have all of the explosions and whatever about it. But man, oh man, The Godfather's such a great flick. Now, Robert Duvall was obviously a supporting character and all of that, but so good. Lonesome Dove was great.
Yeah, I got to watch that one of these days.
Lonesome Dove was fabulous. What's your watch this, Ken? Hey, Jackson.
Yeah.
Favorite Robert Duvall role?
I think he was Boo Radley in Catch a Mockingbird or To Kill a Mockingbird.
It was gonna be perfect, but then you screwed it up. We don't set any of this up, by the way. It's not To Catch a Mockingbird. It's
Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
We watched that in school, so.
He was Boo Radley. That's correct. He's right. He's right there on the end. Yeah. Very good. I'm surprised he didn't say Sling Blade.
He was in Sling Blade?
He was in Sling Blade. It wasn't much, but he was in Sling Blade.
It was enough.
It was bad news, man.
I ain't got no boy.
I ain't got no boy. He was a nut job.
He was
father.
Man.
He was Carl's father in the movie Sling Blade, and Carl went back to his home to see, because he made Carl live out in the shed. Wouldn't let him live in the house. And
Never seen Sling Blade.
Oh, you need to see that.
Well, maybe if I had, a weekly obligation.
I like how
somebody didn't ruin it.
I like how this has turned into Jackson blaming me for not being cultured. That's good. That's good. You've not seen Sling Blade? Some folks call it a Kaiser Blade. I call it a Sling Blade.
What year did it come out, Matt?
That was 96, 97.
It came out BJB, before Jackson's birth.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Great flick, though. Fabulous movie about sacrifice. It's what we would call a Jesus allegory, y'all.
Yes,
meaning that an individual sacrificed himself for the betterment of mankind and betterment for the other people.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry about that. I might have spoiled it. But it actually comes
so he dies at the end?
No. No.
Can't say anything.
No. He
Ken,
didn't die
it's
at the
30 years old.
end. He does not die at the end.
Oh, yeah, I forgot people can look it up.
Ken, thank you for trying to protect us.
I'm back in
Siri,
1990.
what's this Sling Blade ending?
I'm back in 1997.
No, Carl does not die at the end of Sling Blade.
I know the ending.
Would you just look it up?
I don't know. I did the Hey Siri bit. And Siri popped it up on my phone.
By the way, very, very unheralded acting performance there by Dwight Yoakam, too.
It should have won an Oscar.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
supporting actor. What was his name? Doyle?
Doyle Hargraves.
Doyle? Get out! Get out! He called.
I played poker with Chief J.D. Shellnut.
Mean. Doyle just
He
mean.
was, man.
Man, he lost his head too, boy.
I'm the only sane son of a biscuit eater in this house.
He said biscuit eater?
He did not. He did. Doyle was good. JB Jody Barrett's listening. He says open range. That's a good one.
Oh, I got to see that one, too.
That's a good one. I'd forgotten about it. All right, so we'll talk about Robert Duvall at some point. We'll talk about presidents of the United States of America. We'll talk about aliens. It is President's Day, so we'll open up the phone lines. Anything on your mind, 615-737-9986. I'm jacked up on hot chocolate and espresso. So...
Did you get it in the same drink?
Yeah, no, they serve it that way, Ken.
Oh, I need to be careful then.
Hot chocolate and espresso with or without milk. I got it with the milk, and I regret it because, milk is going to coat the throat a little bit.
Is it tasty?
It'll give you a little, you won't sound as good.
Mm-hmm.
You'll sound gurgly.
That's right. I'm throating the coat with the throating the throat. Wait. Coating the throat. There you go.
There you go.
With the milk. Mm-hmm. So I might have to gargle with something to get the milk out of the throat.
Hot water.
Is that what works?
Yeah, and you can get hot water out of that machine. Just straight hot water.
Man, Wally's got it going on.
He does.
So
That thing is so cool.
I'm a bit of a germaphobe. About certain things.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't touch radio station coffee with a 10-foot pole because I know radio station people, and I don't. Yeah, Jackson just waved. Mm-hmm. Correct. That's example A right there. They're grubby hands on the items and the stuff and I don't know where all that stuff's been. So I just stay away from it.
But this is a robot.
But this is a robot. Nobody touches it.
Right.
Except the touch screen.
Which is fine. I can handle that. So yeah, I'm all in. And the milk is there in the system, which I don't understand how that works, but that's good.
It makes a mean cup of hot cocoa.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. This is good stuff. I'm gonna have about 14 espressos and see where that takes me.
I like to
To the
pretend that
hospital.
there's a barista inside it.
Oh, a little yeah.
Who comes out after everybody leaves.
And there's a.
I'm the barista. I just make the coffee, boys.
I just make the coffee, boys. Yeah.
No, make her female. I want her to be a girl.
I just. I can't. I can't.
I'm Jen Weaver.
I just make the espresso, boys.
I just make the coffee, boys.
Yes.
I just imagine you do the touch screen, and so okay, I'll go with it. And there's a little barista in there, and she gets the little on her end. It's a little slip of paper that pops up. Like they used to do at the old cafes. Boop.
Macchiato with milk.
On it. Macchiato up. Ding.
So we're creating the Weavers just being the real-life version of the Keebler Elves, but instead of cookies, they make coffee?
Yes.
Or news.
And news.
News and coffee.
News and coffee.
Yeah, depending on your need. All right, 25 after the hour. We'll take a short time out. We do have a serious matter to cover concerning the untimely death of good friend of the station, colleague, family member, Aaron Stokes. We will talk about that coming up in a moment on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Friends, having to deal with situations involving intimacy in your romantic relationships can impact those relationships, your mental health, and even your sense of identity. Maybe it's ED, maybe it's something else that's going on in your world. Well, there's good news. Since 2014, Tennessee Men's Clinic has helped thousands of men get back to feeling like themselves. First, they started in Middle Tennessee in Midtown. Secondly, they went over to Cool Springs, and now they're in Clarksville with expansion to come in the Murfreesboro area. No matter where you are in Middle Tennessee, expert care is close by, and these are not cookie-cutter treatments. Tennessee Men's Clinic is a urology-based and staffed with multiple licensed providers who specialize in men's sexual health. In other words, they do it the right way, on the up and up. They tell you exactly what's going on in your body, and with your first treatment can come a solution. And as a matter of fact, they can walk you home with a dose if you are medically advised to receive it after your initial appointment of just $99. That's how much it's going to cost you, friends. Get a little blood work and figure out what's going on with you. Is it low testosterone or something else? You can find out at the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Let's go. Let's get back in the game, men. 615-208-9090, 208-9090, or online at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Right now, about 90 miles south of Nashville. Deputies in Giles County searching for whoever shot two people traveling southbound on I-65 overnight. The gunfire caused the driver, 26-year-old Svensson Simius, to crash before he died there at the scene. His passenger, identified as 23-year-old Elda Simius, also suffered a gunshot wound. She was taken to a hospital. She was listed in stable condition. And then a tragic scene unfolding at the Lynch Arena in Pawtucket, Rhode Island this afternoon as gunfire erupted during a boys' hockey game. One person killed, several others seriously hurt. Witnesses say children fled into a nearby Walgreens seeking safety. Officials confirmed the suspected shooter died at the scene. Today, opening statements began in Georgia, where the father of a school shooting suspect is facing trial. Colin Gray being charged with 29 criminal counts, including second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. 4 people died when police say Gray's son opened fire on Appalachian High School in 2024. Prosecutors say the father supplied the murder weapon, even though there were signs his son would inflict harm with it. This is the latest in a string of cases where parents have been facing legal challenges in connection with mass shootings. ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer explains the legal rationale.
It wasn't just that the child committed a heinous crime, or in this case, allegedly, because the shooter in this case has not been tried as yet. It's that the red flags were missed, and prosecutors are saying you have to be aware of these red flags. A reasonable person would have been aware of these red flags, and this is creating a precedent going forward, not just for these parents, but potentially for others.
That's the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Woodbine got a crash on the right shoulder, 440 eastbound past Nolensville Pike, and in Laverne, a crash blocking the right 2 lanes, 24 westbound before Waldron Road. Roadwork blocking the right lane, 40 eastbound between Fessler's Lane and the Eastern Split. And over by the airport, a crash 40 eastbound at Briley Parkway. And in Kingston Springs, Cheatham County, an accident on the right shoulder, 40 eastbound before exit 188. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Better Water. Better Water is simply, well, better water for you, for your business, for your home, for your family, for your life. Let's talk about it. My friends at Better Water LLC want you to have that big old Brita pitcher for your house, and that's exactly what they do, or for your office. Scalable from under the sink to entire house applications. They help you remove the nastiness that ought not be in your water. Sadly, it's allowable, the sulfur and the iron and the chlorine and the bacteria, and even E. coli. That's right. Everything in your water can be removed with a filter from Better Water LLC. They offer a full range of filtration systems, water treatment systems, reverse osmosis, water softeners, specialized filters, UV lights, you name it. They're based out of Smyrna, and they treat all of Middle Tennessee. And here's the thing. If you're A-OK, they'll tell you that. But odds are you're not, because we've got a lot of stuff going on in our water, and you need to let these guys treat you. They treat the hospitals, they treat the coffee shops, and they want to treat your home as well. Go to BetterWater.com. That's BetterWater.com. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to Better Water LLC, 615-355-6063, 355-6063. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, this is the one. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go.
Extra big oil pan will cut the wind from underneath you. That'll give you 30 to 40 more horsepower. I'm gonna give you a fuel line that will hold an extra gallon of gas. I'm gonna shave half an inch off you and shape you like a bullet.
Oh, yeah.
When we get you primed, painted, and weighed, you'll be ready to go out on that racetrack. You hear me? You're gonna be perfect.
Yeah, you're going to be perfect. That's Robert Duvall basically talking to a car, monologuing to a car, and doing a pretty good job of it. Jackson brought up a good point. Jackson asked me in my ear, he said, hey, is this clean? And I realized, I don't think it is. Because I think at the end of that monologue, the engine is cracked and it's leaking underneath it. Now, speaking of engines, real quick, I'll tell you what, I want to go to Wally first before we do that, and I want to talk about Aaron Stokes in a minute. Because Aaron, as you might have heard, we found out Friday, we were asked not to say anything while the family figured out next steps, but we discovered that Friday that Aaron had passed away in an airplane accident out in Colorado, along with his son and his nephew. More on that in a moment. But Wally, our man with Wally the Bean Machine,
Yes, sir.
is on the line, Ken, so he can answer any and all of our questions.
All right.
Wally, what is going on, brother? Come on, Jackson. Jackson needs another one of those espressos, Wally, to get you on the radio. Hey, Wally, what's going on, man?
Hey, how are y'all doing, guys? Y'all are awesome. Y'all are wearing me out, and I love it. Thank you.
Look, thank you. I mean, I can finally drink coffee at the radio station again.
Brother, we're all hopped up on your machine.
That's right.
I love it. I was so crazy. When I met Chris, and then I came in to do a walk around. I couldn't believe y'all were still doing like fishbowl coffee. I could not believe that. So I was like, we got to fix that problem. So I was like, let's do it. And so we got some stuff working. So, yeah, this is great. So.
Well, some of these folks up here were doing fishbowl coffee. Matt Murphy was not. I don't trust these people. But here's the great thing about what that system that you put in is I don't have to trust these other knuckleheads because they can't touch anything.
I know, and that's part of it. It's just like hands, and that's part of the whole program. It's like we just come in, we service it, we take care of it, and you don't have to do anything.
Right.
So that's where we're going. But yeah, so what do you want to know about the machines? What do you?
Who came up with the idea? Who came up with the idea to put hot chocolate and espresso together? Because that feels a little dangerous, Wally.
Yeah. So these are Italian machines, come from Italia, and so
They come from Italia.
so they they know how to do their coffee over there, right? So they came up with the machines, and so they do the espressos, the milks, and all that combined in one deal. It's just a push button on the screen. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. So
well, look, I don't want to ask about anything that's going on inside of the thing. I want to pretend we've decided that there is a very small little barista in there. We're going to name her Wallina.
I named her Jen Weaver.
Well, that's true. Jackson did name her Jen Weaver, a.k.a. Wallina. And I just want to pretend like there's somebody in there just making our drinks special just for us. How long have you been doing this, man?
So interesting. So we did a entrepreneurship show last year down at the Music City Center, and then there was a coffee company there. They're out of Canada, and they offer machines, and it just looked like a great thing. I've been in the countertop business for like 30-something years, and I'm like, I want to get out of it, and it just seemed like a good business plan to do it and grow into it. And so that's where it all started. So.
Well, I love the company's called Wally's Bean Machine, right? And I love that. I don't know why it works, Wally, but it does. And the logo works. I mean, the logo is a cup of coffee drinking a cup of coffee. Is that fair? That's fair, right? Is that Wally? Is that the?
Yes, that is Wally, and we have plans for a full live mascot at some point, so we will have him live at some point. So that is our
you understand that it's kind of appealing to the weirdos that there's a cup of coffee that's drinking coffee. So it's kind of cannibalistic a little.
I know, but he's so nice looking. You know, I don't see cannibal. I know it's hilarious. So.
He's so friendly about it.
Hey, I'm just gonna take a sip of my. Gonna take a sip of my little friend Glenn. Glenn's so tasty.
I love it.
That's
Oh my
good.
gosh! Oh my gosh! So the milk is whole milk. It is like freeze dried, like you do like in MRE or something like that, right? And so it mixes in when it comes out. There's these little bowls in there, and y'all were talking about milk earlier. So, and it mixes in there, and what makes it different on these machines that it actually has these like whipping motors that whip the milk, whip all the hot chocolate milk. It whips everything, so it gets a light, airy feel when you drink it, and that's why it tastes so good.
So I would never have guessed that this was milk that was reconstituted because it tastes great. I mean, it does. It has. I mean, and I'm not buttering your bread here, Wally. I'm serious.
Oh, no.
It tastes like something you get out of your coffee shop.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. There's no filters. There's nothing in there. There's no trash. There's nothing. It presses between two stainless steel filters, and that's why you get the hardcore espresso, because it actually presses when it comes through, and so that's why you get the full flavor of the bean and the full espresso. So y'all are getting full bean. You're not getting cheap.
How long do you predict, fellas? And I'll just get votes from everybody. Ken Weaver,
What?
Jackson Williams, Wally, and Matt Murphy. 4 of us. How long, fellas, before radio people somehow screw this machine up? What do you think?
I'll let Ken, you go first.
Well, let's see. When's that morning crew coming next?
Have you? Are we your first radio station, Wally?
You are my first radio station. Yeah, y'all are like my first, serious,
This is a test. Let me tell you, because these people are horrible. They're just horrible.
Well, it made it through Dan this morning, so it should be okay, right?
Well,
You gotta look out for that Dan Mandis.
You got to look out for that. Mandis is going to give that machine a workout, my friend, and he's going to start working on you to add slippery elm to the product lineup.
The throat coat.
Do not put any throat coat in there, Wally. Don't just say no.
I was going to put a PSA on top of it that said, "Throat coat kills. Do not drink it." You know, that's a little man, you know.
That's right. Well, you do give him hot water. So, I mean, there you go. I mean, you can have some hot water, and you can put whatever the heck he wants in his hot water, right?
Brother Dan will just drink a cup of hot water.
What?
Yeah, he'll probably just drink a cup of hot water
Wow.
for his throat purposes.
Mm-hmm. Well, Wally, thank you for everything that you've brought. I mean, we're going to have some wired folks up here, and I'll give it, Ken. I'm telling you, we can screw anything. Every good thing we get, we screw up. So Wally's going to be. I have confidence in the machine, though. I have confidence in Wally. I have confidence in the Bean Machine. I think the Bean Machine can withstand even radio folk for, let's say, 3 months.
3 months? Okay, no, that's fine. And if that one doesn't work, I have one that's even bigger than that, can handle everything y'all throw at it.
Yes, sir.
You know us well, brother. Well, listen, come up and see whenever you're up here. Just stop by and say, "Hey, man."
I will do it. Thank you. I should be there tomorrow because I want to make sure y'all have not broken anything.
Well, he does know it. See, you do know radio people.
He knows his audience.
Better get here at 9, Wally.
Yeah, 9 a.m. right after Mandis leaves. But get here. Don't get here after 9 because you want to lay blame on the guilty party, and he leaves at 9:02.
That is awesome. Y'all give him such a hard time. He's been so nice. So
he's good. He's good. We love Mandis. Thank you, Wally, for the thanks, Wally, for the call. Wally with
And
Wally.
the mugs.
I forgot about the mugs.
I love my mug.
I got my mug, and my man Jay St. Clair is going to stop by the house next Sunday.
He's going to get his mug.
He's going to get his mug.
Yeah, there's still some mugs in there. We got to hand them out.
Yeah, we do. I mean, the entire crew, entire gang got mugs.
Yeah.
Everybody. That's pretty cool. Thanks, Wally, for everything, and thanks for the Bean Machine. Wally knows. You see, I'll be up there this week to make sure y'all don't break it. Yeah.
Didn't he say tomorrow?
Yeah, smart. I'm smart. Yeah, I'm surprised it's still working after the weekend.
Bean
honestly.
Machine.
Well, was Mandis here today?
Bean Machine. Bean Machine. Yeah, I think he was. I mean, I know he was on the radio.
I heard Brother Dan Mandis on the radio.
So I'm assuming he was in studio.
Okay, so he didn't break it today.
So we made it through one day. So let's see how we do tomorrow. All right, 48 after the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It is President's Day. Men, I challenged you, and all I want's a name right now, and we can talk further about it later on.
I found mine.
I challenged you fellas to tell me who your favorite president of the United States of America was, with only one caveat. And I will challenge the listening audience. Tell me who your favorite president was. Just any president. The only rule is favorite president, but they cannot have been president in your lifetime. All right?
Yep.
So favorite president, whomever, can't be president in your lifetime. Ken Weaver, who you got?
Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson.
And really,
Old Hickory.
the reason being is because he, according to reports, kept a giant block of cheese in the White House, and he let the public eat on it during an open house. He reportedly fought over 100 duels, though most involved posturing rather than shots fired.
Uh-huh.
And he once beat a would-be assassin with his cane after the attacker's gun misfired.
Beat him viciously about the head and shoulders, is my understanding. I think that I'm right here that unlike Andrew Jackson, that Zachary Taylor, who served directly following James K. Polk, he was the 12th president of the United States of America. He died from drinking milk, Ken.
Ooh.
That is, I am not making that up. He died of a stomach virus that was set upon him after feasting on a hot Washington, D.C. afternoon on cherries and milk.
That's weird.
Well, and you see, milk was a different product back in the 1840s and 1850s than it was today, than it is today. It was not homogenized. It was not pasteurized.
It was raw.
It was just straight from the teat, Ken, essentially. Warm, more often than not, and chock full of bacteria. So,
It's a weird combination, cherries and milk.
Yeah, well, they got him. Old Zach Taylor. But Andrew Jackson, I like that. Hey, Jackson, who's your favorite president?
I'm going to go with that Thomas Whitmore fellow from Independence Day.
What?
He led a successful defense of an alien attack in the 1996 blockbuster Independence Day.
Okay.
Not in my lifetime.
It's Jackson, I meant. Jackson, I meant actual presidents.
In my book, he is.
Independence Day. What was his name?
Thomas Whitmore.
President Thomas Whitmore.
Yes.
Who has actually seen aliens at Area 51, unlike Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Who apparently has not.
Yeah.
Jackson, come up with a different president next time and we'll do it again, okay?
We're going to try it again.
I think you're missing the assignment. Maybe I wasn't specific enough. See, Ken gave an actual president.
Oh, I like Ken's president. I was named after.
That's right.
Were you named? I mean, is that official? You were named
after
after
Old Hickory, and I grew up near the
That's
Hermitage.
pretty good.
Well, I'll be.
How about that? I'm well on record as my favorite president of the United States of America is President Calvin Coolidge, known as Silent Cal. I have a lot of fun facts about President Calvin Coolidge, but I'll throw one out at you right now.
I got one too, but I want to hear what yours says.
Calvin Coolidge kept a pet raccoon.
Yes.
Named Rebecca.
Yes.
He is known to be the only U.S. president of the United States of America that had a pet raccoon. Rebecca was born in Mississippi. She was sent to the White House to be served for Thanksgiving dinner in 1926. Since the 1913 death of Horace Vose, the traditional provider of the White House Thanksgiving turkey, numerous farmers sent animals for Thanksgiving dinner. And in 1926, a Mississippi supporter sent Rebecca. Coolidge, who'd never eaten raccoon, had no appetite to try it, and so he kept Rebecca as a pet instead.
That's great.
For Christmas, they had an embroidered collar was made for Rebecca, inscribed with the title, White House Raccoon.
White House Raccoon.
She was known to participate in annual White House traditions, such as the Easter egg roll. She lived on a diet of shrimp, persimmons, and eggs. Whew. Man, must have been good to be Rebecca, boy.
Man, she got eggs.
Rebecca was let loose in the White House and walked on a leash outdoors. At times, she could be mischievous. She was known to unscrew light bulbs, open cabinets, and unpot houseplants. She would nestle in Calvin's lap while he sat by the fire. Just one of the main reasons, one of the many reasons to love Calvin Coolidge.
I got another one for you.
What do you got?
He enjoyed having his scalp massaged with petroleum jelly while eating breakfast in bed.
A man after my own taste.
This is the type of president we need again. I mean, I love Donald J. Trump. Could not be a different personality from Calvin Coolidge. I have a couple of stories to tell you a little bit later on about old Silent Cal. They call him Silent Cal.
Silent Cal. And tell him why.
Oh, he didn't say much. So I'll go and tell this story. Well, I'll tell you what, we're too late. I can't do it a good service. But there's a couple of great stories about Calvin Coolidge and his refusal to give perfunctory speeches. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. It's 54 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Right now, about 90 miles south of Nashville, you've got an active investigation. Someone opened fire on people driving southbound on 65 and killed one of them. That story and more coming up at 4 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It was an apocryphal story that I heard when I was in my teenage years. I might have been in high school. But here's how that story goes that leads to the name Silent Cal, which led me to do a little more research on Calvin Coolidge. Calvin Coolidge hated state dinners, hated giving speeches, hated talking to these people that came to the state dinners, and he sat down at another state dinner that he hated as president of the United States of America, and there was this chatty woman that was sitting next to him, and she was chatting and chatting and chatting. He was just sitting there eating his meal, and she finally leaned over to him, and she said, "Mr. President, your reputation precedes you, and I've got to admit, I've made a little wager with my friends that I can get you to say more than 3 words tonight." And Calvin Coolidge looked at her and said, "Madam, you lose." That's a badass president right there.
That right there, man.
That's a badass president. Madam, you lose.
Oh.
That's one down. Dustin Kittle out of Columbia Way, Santa Fe, as a matter of fact, will be along to talk about Columbia Power and Water. That's coming up next on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Four o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now, about 90 miles south of Nashville, the Giles County Sheriff's Office says a man was killed, a woman injured after their vehicle was fired on from another car as they were driving southbound on 65 late last night. Investigators initially believed they were responding to a crash before discovering both occupants had been shot. The driver, 26-year-old Svensson Simius, died at the scene. His passenger, 23-year-old Elda Simius of Indiana, is in stable condition after being rushed to the hospital. Right now in Rhode Island, law enforcement and federal agents responding to a major shooting at an ice rink just outside Providence today. Emergency crews treated multiple victims after shots were fired inside the Dennis M. Lynch Arena. 4 people suffered life-threatening injuries. 1 person did not survive. Authorities say the suspect is also dead. The investigation ongoing. And the murder trial of Colin Gray gets underway today in Georgia, nearly a year and a half after authorities say his teenage son shot and killed 2 students and 2 teachers at the high school northeast of Atlanta. ABC's Sophie Flay.
Prosecutors across the country are increasingly holding parents liable for their children's alleged involvement in school shootings. Jennifer and James Crumbly were the first to be convicted in the U.S. after their son killed 4 students in Michigan. And in Wisconsin, Jeffrey Ruppnow will stand trial after his daughter allegedly shot and killed a teacher and a student.
Law enforcement and FBI officials hoping DNA evidence from a glove will lead them to Nancy Guthrie, now missing for over 2 weeks after she was allegedly abducted from her home in Tucson. ABC's Alex Stone has the latest from Tucson.
It's got an unknown male's DNA in it. Whoever was wearing that glove, whether they were attached to this case or not, it could just be something that was thrown roadside. It was in roadside brush about 2 miles away from here. So they are going to try to work with that DNA. That it was done by a lab for the Sheriff's Department in Florida. The FBI wants to do quality confirmation on the lab work and then put it into CODIS, the National FBI DNA database, to see if they get a hit.
The company that created TikTok is in hot water over a different app in its lineup. ABC's Mike Dubusky has more.
ByteDance now says it's making some changes to what kind of content can be generated with its AI tool, Cdance 2.0. The Motion Picture Association accused the Chinese company of not doing enough to stop the technology from creating images and videos of copyrighted works, after several such AI-generated videos went viral on social media in recent days.
Actor Robert Duvall has died at the age of 95, a career spanning decades. Duvall may be best known for his roles as Tom Hagen in The Godfather and Godfather Part 2, as well as Apocalypse Now. Here he is in the TV miniseries from 1989, Lonesome Dove.
Besides the whiskey, I think will require a little respect. I'm Captain Augustus McCrae. This is Captain Woodrow F. Call.
Duvall's wife, Luciana, announced he passed away peacefully around the people he loves with the people he loves around him at home yesterday. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Antioch injury wreck, Antioch Pike just west of I-24. Road work blocking the right lane, 40 eastbound between Fessler's Lane and the Eastern Split. B&A looks like they're about to wrap this crash up, 40 eastbound there at Briley Parkway. In La Vergne, a wreck on the right shoulder, 24 westbound before Waldron Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN will continue our journey through this President's Day on this Monday, February the 16th. Thank you for being with us. Matt Murphy, The Matt Murphy Show continues, episode 978. I mentioned we're on TuneIn, we're on Spotify, iHeart. You can find us those places. You can also find us on our own app. Download us, Super Talk 99.7 WTN, and take us wherever you want to go. And then there's Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. The YouTube chat is ongoing. The Super Talk chat is ongoing, 615-737-9986. And you can always call us up on the very same telephone number. So a variety of different ways to watch or listen to the radio show and a variety of different ways to communicate. And you can always hit me up on the socials. I mean, at Matt Murphy Show, everywhere you go. And we thank you for that. Hey, I'm well on my way to, you see I'm only 1,000 away from 20,000 followers. Only 1,000 away from 20,000. You see I did that? So I'm trying to catch up with this next guest. He has gotten followers after followers after followers because of his good work in Murray County, and we're going to talk a little about that today as well. Also, before it gets away from me, I just want to do this real quick, and then we're going to spend a better part of an hour talking to our next guest about an issue that I think is going to impact the entirety of Middle Tennessee. You probably have heard by now that one of our family, Aaron Stokes, passed away due to a plane crash last Friday. We found out Friday afternoon. We're asked, not to say anything out of concerns for the family. The family asked us that, and we obviously honored that. But over the course of the weekend, the news came out that Aaron, his son, his nephew, and another good friend of the family lost their lives in a tragic plane accident in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I cannot tell you Aaron Stokes is loved by everyone that is to meet him. I've seen him around the radio station. Obviously I talked about Eurofix a lot, and I talked about Aaron's story a lot, and you've listened to me talk about it a lot. I didn't know Aaron. I knew him to see him or to say hello to him, but I'd never sat down with him and had a lengthy conversation with him. But every single person that I have spoken with that did came away with the same impression, that he was as genuine and authentic as the day is long. He's good people. And the reason that his story resonated with so many people is that if good people do good work and are honest by their work, success is going to come their way in the United States of America. It truly is the American dream what Aaron was able to achieve. He started in a backyard on family property, fixing cars in Franklin, and grew that over 26 years into 5 separate locations of automobile services. And here's the deal, whether you're fixing cars or fixing people or whatever your trade might be, Aaron treated his employees and his customers and every single person that walked through his door in his orbit the same way, with honesty and integrity, and he treated them like family. And he was beloved on the weekends with the Fixing It with Aaron, Fixing Cars with Aaron Stokes, a radio show that many of you knew about and many of you listened to, and he will be sorely missed. Clearly, the pain of losing a family member at WTN or losing a voice on the radio or a wonderful business entrepreneur in Middle Tennessee pales in comparison to the pain that his actual family is going through right now. Our prayers go out to the Stokes family. We wish them only the best, and anything that we can possibly do for them, we obviously will. So I just wanted to say that about Aaron and the loss. I know many of you listened to Aaron, and to listen to him is to know him, and I know you're feeling that loss as well. So Aaron Stokes, rest in peace, and you'll always be a beloved part of Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, 11 minutes after 4 o'clock on Super Talk, let's dive into this issue. We've been talking about Columbia Power and Water. I mean, it came on our radar screen months ago that they were set to have a vote, the city of Columbia that is, regarding expanding their footprint in Middle Tennessee and expanding their ability to suck water out of the Duck River. And in order to do that, they were proposing a $500 million proposal, over $500 million, that would give them new intake resources and a new water treatment facility and create infrastructure that they claim would expand their ability to provide water to the better part of the Middle Tennessee region. To speak to this matter, we are welcoming Dustin Kittle to the show. Dustin has been an advocate, an ally to the people of Middle Tennessee, not just in the Columbia area, but Murray County and well beyond. He is as learned on this subject as anyone that I've come across in the months that I've known about it, and it is a pleasure to finally have him in studio to talk about it. Dustin, thank you for do this, that microphone. Yeah, there you go. Do that with it, and hopefully that'll fix it. We need to get a wrench on that thing. Dustin, good afternoon. Welcome in.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
It's a pleasure. Tell just a little of your background and how you came to live in Middle Tennessee in Murray County and how you came to be aware of this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am an environmental lawyer by trade. I've been practicing law for about 20 years. We moved to Middle Tennessee about 5 years ago.
Let me ask you, because Jackson will not stop. Just pull that a little closer. I should have done it before.
A little bit closer?
Yeah, pull it a little bit closer. I should have done it beforehand. Or I should have gotten a producer to do that for me. But anyway, Go right ahead, Dustin.
So we moved here 5 years ago to Middle Tennessee from Birmingham, which I can remember when you were on the radio in Birmingham. So I'm not sure if you're following me or if I'm following you, but
I'm probably following you.
But we live in the Santa Fe community, and we have a farm out there. We raise cattle and sheep, and actually Clydesdale horses is kind of the feature of our farm. But we do land and water law, and like I said, I practiced for 20 years, and it certainly, this matter kind of fell right into the wheelhouse of what we were doing. We're working on a separate matter and kind of stumbled upon this.
So just walk us through how you became aware of what was going on, and, obviously your expertise and your level of experience probably, you were laser focused on it from the moment you heard about it, but how did you first hear about this particular issue regarding the expansion efforts of Columbia Power and Water?
So, we had heard whispers about the fact that Columbia Power and Water wanted to do some expansion for a couple of years now. And if you look at it, this is something that they have contemplated for, as far as 10 years back, as far as some of the studies that were done on it. But the case that we were working on was out in Mount Pleasant, which is, of course, in Murray County, and it involved a development where they were looking to put in 247 homes out there. The complicating factor to it all was the fact that they had a step sewer system. And if you look at that with TDEC, look at the environmental regulations, there was a study done in the last couple of years, and about half of those across the state have failed. And so our concern with that was the environmental impact that could come into play as far as the Duck River was concerned. The more we looked into things, we kind of found out that there were a lot of connections to where driving this growth was the fact that Columbia Power and Water Systems, they were passing out water permits to these developers like they were candy. Mm-hmm. And so we ended up getting that development stopped. It was a 5-0 vote as far as the city of Mount Pleasant, and credit to them for doing the right thing when we brought the information forward. And but there were just some conflicts and some things that we found in that case that made us feel like we needed to take another look at what was going on with this water intake project.
It's 247, right? It was two. So when I first, it's just a funny aside. When we started looking at property in Murray County. And we were looking all over, but Debbie Matthews, our friend and realtor, convinced us that Mount Pleasant wasn't too far of a drive, and we found a house that we eventually bought. And when we went out there to look at it, I think the final vote, when did it happen? It wasn't too long ago, was it?
It was in December.
So it was in December when we looked, and there were all these signs, the 247 with the no sign. Oh, yeah. And I was like, what do they have against? Is this some campaign against all-night convenience stores at 24/7? What's the significance? It was like, no. And she's like, they're not. And she was the first to kind of explain that situation to me. And she said, it's not happening. And right. She said, they're just not having it out here. But it was your objection? Was the city's objection primarily just infrastructure based?
It was infrastructure. And if you look at the annexation laws in Tennessee, there is case law that makes this very clear. You can't annex property just for a financial gain to the city. So you can't say that tax revenue coming in is our sole reason. I mean, the reason that we had these annexation laws was really to provide services typically to people that were already established. Mm-hmm. And instead, we've kind of turned those laws on their head to where now cities, in Murray County right now, we have a moratorium as far as development that's going on, but these cities are pulling in properties left and right and growing with development through annexation. And quite frankly, there is rarely the case where that is being done for any reason other than financial gain for tax revenue purposes.
Right. I'm not using any particular example when I say this, but just anecdotally, what you're talking about is a city finds out that, the Johnson farm is about to be sold to some development firm, and suddenly they're interested in having the Johnson farm be a part of, Murphy City.
That's it.
And the entire goal there is to draw in the tax revenue.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you know, to talk about the infrastructure and to kind of bring it full circle with Columbia Power and Water. So they issued a water permit. They were going to provide water to those 247 homes. Now, if they would have denied providing the water, annexation's a complete impossibility. And here was our concern with it. They were advertising to their customers and kind of fear-mongering their customers that we are running out of water. We're at 93% capacity right now. And then all of a sudden, here's 247 more taps that we're going to approve. So we knew that something was up as far as that goes.
So the city, so I just want to make sure I understand this. The Columbia Power and Water is saying that they're out of water, and they've got to figure out new ways to ensure water stability for their current customer base. Simultaneous to that, they're, in your opinion, Dustin, very loose in issuing water permits to new developments. So it doesn't seem like both can simultaneously exist.
Exactly. There is a way to fix what our water problems are. It's to say no when one of these developers asks you to issue 247 more permits as far as providing water. If we don't have the infrastructure to support it, we can't push those costs on the existing ratepayers.
Now, I don't, and I'm not here to pick nits, but I just want to put this to bed to make sure that we get all the facts straight. So, but it is my understanding that the owners of the property requested the annexation in the Mount Pleasant situation.
That is correct.
That's correct. Okay. I just want to make sure that we're clear that the city didn't initiate that; the owner initiated that. But I guess that's because the owner had an opportunity to sell. I would imagine.
They did, and of course, and listen, I don't begrudge anybody for making money in this day and age. I mean, there could come a time down the road that we get in a position where we have to sell our farm. I mean, I don't begrudge anybody for doing that. We've kind of twisted this idea, though, that property rights are that you can do anything that you want to with your property. And so in that example, it's a perfect one in the fact that farm, they wanted to sell it to this developer. You had a step sewer system that would have come in within about a mile of where the Duck River is. In our terrain, where if there was an environmental failure, like what's going on right now in Wilson County with a step system, you could literally contaminate the water supply to 250,000 people. And so those are the risks that we need our local government looking out for the rest of us on.
Right. So, well, and let me make sure I understand where you're at. So if I'm a property owner, I can sell to a developer, but it's up to the city and the municipality that governs water supply, electricity, that grid, and that sort of thing. It's up to them to make clear to the developer that, they're going to be the deciding factor as to whether or not they can build 247 houses on that property, right?
That's exactly right.
And that really, and for the property owner, I mean, I understand the developer's only going to buy it if they know they can develop it. And so that's probably integral into the sale. But, at that point, for me, it's not a matter of the seller. It's a matter of the developer doing it the right way and making sure that they cross their I's and dot their T's and go to the city and make sure that everything is on the up and up.
That's exactly right. You've got a checks and balances system that's in place there. That developer could have connected to the new sewer system that's in Mount Pleasant. It wasn't economically feasible for them, so they tried to do it a different way that would compromise environmental issues. And that's where our objection was, and the city council ultimately agreed with us.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, it's a great place to take a short pause, get a couple of commercial advertisements in here, and then move our attention to Columbia Power and Water, because let me tell you, this is just, I don't know how else to describe it, but it is a regional water power grab that is happening as we speak. And it could end up costing the taxpayers a lot more than $500 million, which is what the current price tag is set at. 22 after the hour, Dustin Kittle is our guest. We'll be back in a moment on Super Talk. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Defend Systems. Brink Fiddler is such a great guy. He lives, well, he doesn't live in Murray County. He lives in Williamson County, but he is a local man with a great product to provide you with, well, ultimately peace of mind. That's what it's all about with Defend Systems. Now, Brink is not here to scare you. I'm not here to scare you. We're not here to freak you out that something bad is going to happen in your life at the next turn or the next corner. But the fact of the matter is we see it on the television news, and you hear the same story every time you see a shooting situation, a workplace violence situation, some accidental mishap at your workplace. You hear, well, I never thought that it could happen to us. You hear it over and over again. Well, hope is not a plan. We want you to be trained to make sure that you have the tools in your arsenal to know how to respond collectively as a place of business or as a school or as a church or individually, how to respond in the event that you have a workplace violence situation, how to prevent those. They do site survey and threat assessment, security improvement consultation, emergency and intruder action plans, rapid response medical training, all customized to your facility. It's what they do, and they're better at it than anyone I've ever seen. It's why I've taken their courses multiple times. I went so far as to take the TECC course with them, and I absolutely recommend it to you. 615-236-6484, 236-6484, or online at defensesystems.com.
Right now, about 90 miles south of Nashville, authorities trying to figure out who killed a driver and the driver's passenger as they're driving down 65. Also, a mass shooting in Rhode Island today at a youth hockey event. These stories and more at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You heard from Ken Weaver. Those headlines coming up in mere moments. Dustin Kittle's our guest. He is a resident of Murray County. I hesitate to introduce you as an environmental lawyer because a lot of our listeners, they'll bristle at that, Dustin. But
Yeah,
I think you're doing good work.
Well, I appreciate that. It's I never lead with the fact that I'm a lawyer. And one of my favorite sayings is there's nobody that hates lawyers more than I do. If you think you hate them, deal with them every single day.
Well, one of my best friends is on Fridays. You may have heard him, Jay St. Clair, and he talks about that all the time. It's like nobody likes lawyers more than, or nobody dislikes lawyers more than me.
That's it.
Right. So what do you make of, I've had several conversations. As a matter of fact, I've had representatives from Columbia Power and Water on the show with me, making, or I would say attempting to make their case that their solution to what they consider to be the water crisis in Middle Tennessee is the only and best solution to the problem. I look at it as, well, it's the only solution that they're looking at because it's the only solution that builds upon what they have as a monopoly right now as a water company in Middle Tennessee. Give me your assessment of what they are attempting to do.
Well, I think it's a power play, plain and simple. And, I think this is a problem that we're seeing with a lot of these municipal utilities right now. They want to operate as a private company as far as they want to bring in as much revenue as they possibly can. They want to drive growth. But they want to take advantage of everything that they get as far as the immunities, as far as funding, grants, things like that come by way of the municipalities. When we look at this Duck River pipeline, it's a tax at the end of the day. I don't know how you could look at it any other way. The people aren't getting anything additional for those services. And you've got a utility company that's based out of a city right there that is essentially going to control a river that services 7 different counties. I mean, we're talking about a river that supplies drinking water to 250,000 people. And we had 7 people at the City Council of Columbia that none of the rest of us get an opportunity to vote on, making this decision for everybody. Their draw from the Duck River with this project's now going to be 32 million gallons per day. That's more than the withdrawals on the rest of the river combined.
What is it currently?
It's at 20 million right now. And this new intake will allow them to increase that to 32 million.
All right, quick timeout for news. Dustin Kittle's with us for the hour. If you have any questions for Dustin, hit us up on the Super Text line. You can call us, 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. It's the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk.
.4:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Right now, about 90 miles south of Nashville, authorities in Giles County investigating a deadly shooting on 65. It left one man dead and his passenger injured. Deputies discovered the victims after responding to what initially appeared to be a crash late last night. Investigators say the driver, 26-year-old Svensson Simius of Florida, had been shot from another vehicle and died at the scene. His passenger, 23-year-old Elda Simius of Indiana, was also shot but is recovering in stable condition. Right now in Rhode Island, a heavy police presence following a mass shooting during a youth hockey event. Officials say one person killed, several others hospitalized. Children and spectators scrambled for cover, with some taking shelter in a nearby store. Investigators say the suspected gunman died shortly after the attack. Law enforcement and FBI officials hoping DNA evidence from a glove will lead them to Nancy Guthrie, now missing for more than 2 weeks after she was allegedly abducted from her home in Tucson. Also today, the Sheriff's Department of Pima County releasing a statement on the Guthrie family, clearing them as suspects in the disappearance. ABC's Alex Stone has the latest from Tucson.
We got a statement from the sheriff here in Pima County saying, to be clear, the Guthrie family, to include all siblings and spouses, have been cleared as possible suspects in this case. The family has been nothing but cooperative and gracious, and they are victims in this case.
Today, opening statements in Georgia, where the father of a school shooting suspect is facing trial. Colin Gray being charged with 29 criminal counts, including second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. 4 people died when police say Gray's son opened fire on Appalachia High School in 2024. Prosecutors say he supplied the murder weapon, even though there were signs that his son would do harm with it. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Got a crash in Bellevue. This is involving injury. That's going to be 40 westbound at Old Hickory Boulevard West. And in Cool Springs, a stalled vehicle on the right shoulder, 65 northbound past Moore's Lane. Eastbound 24 is complete stop and go from 440 all the way down to looks like Bell Road practically. That is a lot of traffic build up there eastbound 24. And then northbound 65 up to the South Loop getting a lot of brake tapping. Same goes eastbound 440 over to 24. I'm Ken Weaver.
Grace Point Healthcare is located in Franklin. I would encourage you to make the call that so many others have made to Grace Point. Schedule yourself an appointment and just see the Grace Point difference. You won't wait a week or 2 weeks to get an appointment at Grace Point. They just don't believe in it. They're going to get you in next day or the following day as soon as possible, even for brand new patients. Secondarily, as a direct pay format and primary care provider, they don't allow insurance companies to dictate how they do their business. They don't allow pharmaceutical companies to dictate how they do their business. And that's doing it the right way. Their slogan is modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way, and nothing could be more dead-on perfect as to how they do their business. Obviously, they're using the most modern medical practices, exceptional medicine at your convenience. But it's an old-fashioned feel to it. They know your name. They address you by your name. They don't, overbook themselves. They make sure that they're there for the customers, and they try to treat naturally whenever possible. They're also military veteran-owned, which I absolutely love. Grace Point Healthcare, 599-6868, 599-6868. Ask about the Smart Care Plan. Schedule your next medical appointment today. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Accurate Mortgage. I made one call when we knew we were buying a new house and we knew we'd be looking around and we wanted to make sure that everything was as it should be regarding our mortgage options. I made a call to Mike and his team at Accurate Mortgage. I know how they do their business. I absolutely love these guys. They're going to do the best by you. Now, they wish they could set the rates on a day-to-day basis. They do not set interest rates. However, I'm happy to alert you to the fact that they've come down recently. The expectation is we'll see more positive economic news in 2026, despite what some of the mainstream media want to tell you. And this perhaps is a good time to, if you're thinking of buying a home, go ahead and make that happen. I know I certainly did, and I was very happy with the rate that we're paying. And if you're looking to purchase, give Mike and his team a call at Accurate Mortgage. Or if it's cash out refi that you're looking to do, you can rework some of that high interest credit card debt or some of the other high interest debt that you might have in your life and save money on the other side. They're never going to tell you to do something that doesn't financially benefit you and is in your best interest, which is the thing that I love most about them. Let the loan advisors at Accurate Mortgage help you out. Go to Accurate Mortgage today at AccurateMTG.com. AccurateMTG.com. Accurate Mortgage, NMLS 129944. Rates and terms subject to change. Equal housing lender. $74.32 has brought something up, and I wondered. It's pretty funny. I wondered if the old school Tennessee folk would think of this, and you guys are smarter than me. You already have. By the way, Dustin Kittle is our guest. He's out of Santa Fe, and he joins us to talk about some of the goings-on the Columbia Power and Water front, and really something that, frankly, is going to impact all of Middle Tennessee, because I believe that ultimately this is going to lead to a regionalized water cooperation. That said, Dustin, 7432 writes in, I don't know his name. He said, Matt, I got to laugh a little about the irony here. Two fairly new Middle Tennessee transplants are sitting around talking about the overgrowth in Middle Tennessee and how it's straining the infrastructure.
Well, and you know,
it's fair.
That is a fair point.
Fair.
Now I'm on 160 acres out there with one water tap, as opposed to having 400 houses.
By the way, 7432. I'm on 2 acres with one water tap. So combined, Dustin and I are less than 200 acres, and we're sitting pretty. Right?
Absolutely,
right.
Plenty of water for me and you.
That's exactly right. Well, but I mean, it is one of those things. I mean, there is a delicate, and I admit I go back and forth. I love that people want to come to Middle Tennessee. I was one of those. You were one of those. This is, I mean, God's grace has put his hand on this this place, the topography and all of those things. I think it's wonderful, but there's a delicate balance in how you manage that growth. And, you know, I hear from folks all the time that say, stay out of my Tennessee. We don't want, when Governor Bill Lee, after New York elected Mamdani, Governor Bill Lee came out with a thing saying, hey, if you're a business owner in New York and you don't like what's happening to you, come on out. Tennessee's open. And people got mad because they're like, he needs to be quiet because we don't need, we're full. I hear that all the time. So there is a delicate balance, and that's why we elect local officials to make the proper decisions.
Yes, and you know, beyond the fact of like one-shot houses, a lot of this water's going to industry. You know, this 17-mile water pipeline pulling 32 million gallons out of the Duck River, a lot of it's heading right up to Spring Hill to one specific battery plant, as an example. I mean, in looking at the documentation we found in the last 24 hours on this, when Ultium came in, and listen, I'm glad Ultium came in. I'm glad for the jobs. I have no issue with lithium batteries. But the fact of the matter is, Columbia Power and Water guaranteed that they could provide them up to 7 million gallons of water per day. Now, you think about this, going back to what we talked about earlier, our water permit right now is 20 million gallons.
Whoa. Wait, so, hold on. I want you to restate this. Columbia Power and Water promised lithium, the Ultium, up to 7 million a day?
That's it. And you know, somebody's screaming in their office at Columbia Power and Water right now saying, now, wait a second, they're only using 1.4 million gallons per day right now. And that is what they're telling us. However, they've got the ability to call and ask for more. And it's kind of like a bank as far as them needing to be liquid. This isn't a situation where houses have caused a water shortage. A lot of this is dealt with industry and major development. And my point to all of it, listen, I'm not opposed to having a water pipeline that comes through. I mean, that's, you know, from a practical matter, but let's make industry pay for it. Let's make the developers pay for it. It shouldn't be passed on to the regular citizens who are going to get no additional services for this other than the water they're already getting.
So I just got something from a mutual friend of ours, and I'm not going to say his name because I've not asked if I could. But he said, listening to the show, I received an open records request from Columbia Power and Water on my request for their total bid on the project. This is the intake and water processing project that we're talking about, water treatment plant.
Right.
And the response from Columbia Power and Water, and this is, I'll say that this is a commissioner, right?
It is.
Quote, there is no documents to provide on this request. So they haven't bid this project out?
No, that is what we are finding out today for the very first time.
So Columbia Power and Water they voted.
They did.
And passed a $520 some odd million project.
That's right.
I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. Passing that cost to their customers, some of whom don't even live in the community.
Exactly.
Some of whom couldn't vote them out of office if they wanted to based on this tax increase. They voted on a project that had not even been bid?
Not even bid. There are no documents whatsoever. And it's not just $520 million. There's an additional $900 million in interest that'll be paid over 30 years for a project that they say has a lifespan of 20 years.
And we're finding out, and I found this out from your internet sleuthing, Dustin, that they're just sending out eminent domain letters to the property that they claim that they're going to take through eminent domain. And I mean, this is just happening. So they don't even have the property that they claim is necessary to build the project to begin with.
Exactly right. They have voted to take on all of this debt. They will begin, and this is breaking news, they will begin raising rates on customers on March 1. They claim that this project was shovel ready. They didn't have so much as a bid that has come in on this. They've took on this debt. They don't have the land to get across. And now they've sent out a letter to these property owners, giving them 15 days to decide, do you want to sell your property to us or do you want us to take it by eminent domain? And that obviously has been something that's really controversial. I talked with the county mayor earlier today, and John Rich had given her a call. He's on this new USDA task force as far as lawfare against farmers and rural properties. And that's exactly what we're talking about in this. They are threatening eminent domain across multi-generational farms to take that property as part of this 17-mile pipeline.
And you know what? If this is an issue of have to do it, it's a conversation that I understand, right? Eminent domain is there for a reason. And if it's a we must do this or the entire Middle Tennessee area is going to be dramatically negatively impacted, that's one conversation. But I've heard from too many people, very smart people, who have offered way too many alternate solutions that don't involve this intake, that don't involve this pipeline, that don't involve this water treatment plant, that don't involve $520 million, and don't involve taking people's farms.
Right. And if you eliminate the industry out of the equation as far as the water use, let's find out what that is then. We wouldn't be anywhere near capacity if we weren't having to set aside up to 7 million gallons of water that Ultium could come and call for tomorrow. And it's not just Ultium. I don't mean to pick on them. There are other industries, and there are industries that are being brought to the table. I mean, in Spring Hill, and there'll be some dispute over this, but in Spring Hill, over the course of the last year, there are potential data centers that have made inquiries, and Spring Hill claims, well, they don't use a lot of water with that particular type of data center, and maybe they don't. But any of these are going to be using more than a regular household. And again, at the end of the day, we're putting that cost on families that are already strained as it is, and it's 150% increase as far as these water bills.
Well, and you will not find more of a friend to commerce and trade and business than me, but they also have to pay their share of what's going on here. And it is up to the community leaders that we elect to make sure that they don't bargain the opportunity to bring in a big business against the rate that the payers are the ratepayers are currently paying. In other words, it feels like they are screwing over the mom and pop businesses and the residents to the benefit of some of these bigger companies, because they dangle, we're going to create 500 jobs, or we're going to create 1,000 jobs, and we're going to put you on the map, and we're going to boom your city or whatever. Well, that doesn't mean that we screw over the small guys for the benefit of the big guys.
That's right. And all of that is perspective. And when you talk about elected officials, when you talk about that city council of Columbia, their obligation is to the existing residents. You know, you go back to the comment, it's humorous. Like, I get it, the fact that we moved here. If we would have moved here and we were going to cause some kind of hardship as far as the water supply was concerned, the job of the elected officials would have been to have shut that down, to have not compromised people moving in for the benefit of people who are already here.
Why do you think it got the vote that it did on the Columbia City Council?
I think it was absolutely predetermined. I spoke at the study session. I submitted a legal notice letter. Listen, I sent I think it's like a 7-page legal notice letter with numerous exhibits on it, with very clear indications that this was legally improper, what they were trying to do. I didn't get a call back from the city attorney. That shows how little they cared as to whether or not they were going forward with this no matter what. And I said this on the night I spoke in the study session. I said, they will pass this. I looked in their eyes. They are irredeemable from the standpoint of them doing the right thing on this.
I hesitate to ask you this question, but it begs the question, what do you think's behind it? I mean, have they been do you believe, Dustin, knowing these folks as you do, that they've been convinced that this is the only option for the future of, water stability in Columbia, or is there something else going on?
Well, I think that I think there's multiple things at play here. One of the things is that too many of our local officials, and particularly with the city of Columbia, are tied in with development. It's just a fact. You look at their
Can I ask you a quick question? And I don't mean to interrupt your train of thought, but is it true Chaz Mulder is the mayor of Columbia, the city mayor of Columbia?
That's right.
And it's my understanding, and he's a lawyer.
He is.
And his law firm represents the city of Mount Pleasant?
They do. And to go all the way back to where we first started on this conversation.
How is that not a conflict of interest?
It's absolutely a conflict of interest. I have no problem in saying that right now.
Right,
it is a conflict of interest.
He is directing traffic within the city of Columbia for the purpose of benefiting Columbia Power and Water, ultimately harming the citizens of Mount Pleasant that he claims to represent in his law firm.
That's right.
With regard to their water use and their water rates, because currently Mount Pleasant, they don't solely depend on Columbia Water, but there's a relationship there, a wholesale relationship there that they're trying to dissolve.
Right.
That's totally a conflict of interest.
Right. On this water rate increase, so the people that are outside the city of Columbia, they actually pay a premium on this. They pay more. Who was there to look out for the interests of the people in Mount Pleasant? The city of Mount Pleasant is a wholesale water purchaser from Columbia Power and Water. The person that should have looked out for them was the city attorney there. But they happen to be the mayor over the city that is actually imposing this water increase. Not only that, Chaz Mulder appoints the board to Columbia Power and Water. I mean, it was a setup deal from the beginning. It is a clear conflict of interest.
So if the city of Mount Pleasant has any issue with what's going on, they turn to their attorney. That attorney happens to be the guy that's orchestrating it across the street.
That's right.
And how can he properly advise Mount Pleasant as to what to do if he is in bed with the guys that are doing it?
He can't. And to go a step further, your other option, if you're a citizen of Mount Pleasant, you think this is wrong. Hey, I didn't get a vote with the city of Columbia as far as their city council, and they're going to charge this to me. I've went to my city attorney. They've got conflicts. They can't do anything. Your next option will be your county attorney.
Okay.
The county attorney, and I'll say his name, is Daniel Murphy. He's been the county attorney for years. Guess who else he represents?
Who's that?
Columbia Power and Water. So the people never had a chance on this. It shouldn't have been up to me to have to expose all of this on social media. These attorneys should have guarded their ethical responsibilities much better than what they did in this. None of this was ever disclosed before I brought it to light. And, of course, I've made a ton of enemies down there as far as these elected officials. I don't care. I'm not in this to make friends. At the end of the day, transparency is what matters, and the truth should rule out on it. Let the people decide.
I feel like we've spent the better part of the hour on it, and I feel like we're just scratching the surface. But let's finish up for the time being here, Dustin. What do we need to be doing right now as citizens of Middle Tennessee? Because I go back to this. This will impact regionally a lot of people in Middle Tennessee. And it could cause movement with Spring Hill and movement with Mount Pleasant and unincorporated Murray County. It could push state officials to further the possibility of regionalization of a water authority that would take some of the power away from Columbia Power and Water to be able to do all of that on the table. What can we do right now? What do we need to do right now?
We need to be putting pressure as far as the state. The state is who would be the next step as far as handing over this $520 million to the city of Columbia. Not only are they taking the money from the ratepayers, they're taking it from the taxpayers as well. They're also going to get some federal funding on this too. And here's why it should matter to other people in Middle Tennessee. When they start drawing out 32 million gallons of water out of the Duck River from a single intake, you can just go ahead and bank on this. It will create complications with the flow of that river. They're moving that intake downstream from the former Monsanto plant. What happens when they contaminate the Duck River and all of a sudden 250,000 people have to go look to other sources of water? That's where it's going to impact other people in Middle Tennessee. I'm telling you, these utilities will do everything that they can to continue increasing revenue without the thought process that they ultimately could eliminate our sole drinking water source.
Well, the fail-safe that we are supposed to have with regard to monopolistic utilities like this are our local officials. And in a lot of cases, you don't have somebody to call because you're in unincorporated Murray County, you're in Mount Pleasant, you're in Spring Hill, whatever. And in other cases, sadly, it looks like the decision has already been made somewhere in a back room long before you make a telephone call to your city councilor or your mayor. And that's the way it looks to me. But I thank you for being a watchdog on this, Dustin. You've been doing great work on social media on those platforms, and I know people know where to find you. And we'll continue this conversation. This is, I feel like, just beginning.
And as a last note, I'll say this as far as what we're going to do. If they don't change course on this, we'll file a legal action to stop it. And I hate to have to go to the court system to make that happen, but we ultimately will, and we'll win.
54 after the hour. There you go. There's Dustin Kittle talking about Middle Tennessee politics with regard to Columbia Power and Water. We'll be back in just a moment. Quick time out. It's the Murphy Show on Super Talk. Hello, friends. Were you out and about over the weekend? Did you swing by Savory Spice? Man, oh, man, I love going to Savory Spice. Let me tell you why. And look, y'all know by now, I love Holly, I love David. And if you've seen me on Talk TV, you know I love eating, right? So all of those things in combination and the delicious spices and seasonings and different types of flavors, international and otherwise, that you get from Savory Spice, they're just so good. I mean, they make that cut of meat better. They make that salmon better. They make those veggies palatable. They make everything that you have better with the spices that they have at Savory Spice. Number one, these are superior spices, seasonings, salts, peppers. They're better. Number two, they don't cost more than the big box stores. And number three, they're local, which is important to me. And number four, I love their attitude. You come in, if you want to try something, just use that little tester, sprinkle it in your hand, give it a go. And then when you're done with it, just wipe it off on the floor. They'll clean it up later. It's also what makes the aroma of Savory Spice so delicious. You smell it like yards before you get to their front door. And you walk in, and the aroma is just those various flavors just hit your nostrils. You'll absolutely love it if you've never been. Right by Gray's Pharmacy, just off the square in Franklin. It's the one and only Savory Spice.
5 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now, about 90 miles south of Nashville, a Florida man is dead. His passenger recovering after someone opened fire on their vehicle along 65 in Giles County. Authorities say the shooting happened before the victim's car crashed late last night. 26-year-old Svensson Simius found shot, pronounced dead at the scene. He was the driver. His passenger, 23-year-old Elda Simius, expected to recover after being hospitalized for her injuries. Meanwhile, authorities in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, investigating a shooting at a youth hockey game.
It appears that this was a targeted event, that it may be a family dispute.
Olin Lawrence and his teammates heard the commotion, took cover once they realized it was gunfire.
I was on the ice, and I thought it was balloons at first. It was like bop, 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 and I thought it was balloons. But it just kept going, and it was actually gunshots. And after the gunshots, me and my teammates ran right to the locker room.
2 dead bodies, including the gunman who died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. 3 additional people also shot, remain hospitalized in critical condition. Back here in Nashville, Channel 4 says NES customers are getting frustrated with bills coming in for hundreds of dollars, even though many went without power for days after the winter storm.
And when the bill came in and it was exactly the same usage as last year and actually a few more dollars than the previous month's bill, that led me to believe that they didn't bother to look at anything. They just estimated everything and said, okay, well, this is what you owe.
Channel 4 says NES has on its website that customers could see higher bills because of lower temperatures or the cost of reheating homes after the power outage. And the Pima County Sheriff in Arizona has officially cleared the Guthrie family of suspects in Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. Sheriff Chris Nano saying in a statement that includes all siblings and spouses as possible suspects in the case, adding they've been nothing but cooperative and gracious, saying they are victims. That means the focus must be on someone else. ABC contributor and retired FBI agent Richard Frankel says that's why the hit on the DNA found on a glove could be helpful.
The DNA, that's hopefully we're going to hear something in the next 12 to 24 hours, at least if something is in the CODIS system.
CODIS, that's Combined DNA Index System, is a database of DNA used by the FBI. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Cool Springs got a stalled vehicle on the left lane. Blocking the left lane. 65 northbound, they're at Moores Lane. That's going to be exit 69. Over by the airport, got a crash partially blocking the off-ramp. That's going to be 40 eastbound to the airport there at 216A. I'm Ken Weaver.
Oh, yeah, halfway home. Lots to get into this President's Day, Monday edition of the Matt Murphy Radio Show in progress. Thank you for being around. Thanks to Dustin Kittle for spending about an hour with us. He is an attorney. He lives in Murray County. He has his finger on the pulse of what's going on with the Columbia Power and Water situation. And if any of you believe that I've been unfair to Columbia Power and Water or anything going on, you're welcome to give us a call at 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. Would always love to hear from you. Your telephone calls are my favorite part of the day. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, especially if it's Mike in Old Hickory. I'm a little bit worried that we're not going to hear from Mike in Old Hickory, as his ban has officially been lifted. The ban was until February the 15th, which was checks notes yesterday. And now Mike in Old Hickory is welcome to call the show to offer us any musings of his choosing. Yet he has thus far declined to do so. Perhaps, just perhaps, that will be forthcoming in the next couple of hours. I do know that we have, speaking of Mike, nincompoops in the news on the way at about 5:38 or so. Ken Weaver, the big winner last week based on the rock, paper, scissors debacle.
Yay!
I'll call it the rock, paper, scissors debacle. Ken would probably not characterize it in the same fashion, but I will.
I've got a strategy on
Man,
that
you
game.
got your game down, Ken.
I do.
I know. You got your nincompoop game down, and then when I somehow, some way manage to wrestle 2 victories in a week and get into that tie, here I go with my scissors, boy, and man, oh man, you crushed him with rock. Twice in a row. But I've been learning on it. I've been studying on it.
Oh, yeah?
I've been working on it. And, some folks go to great lengths to strategize on that rock, paper, scissors
I
game.
know.
You know?
I know. I did.
There's books. There's books, kid, that have been written about it. But here's the big question is, and I might have to leave this up to the listening audience because I don't think Ken Weaver is going to be as fair-minded, even-keeled, and balanced as he is when he delivers the news when I ask him this question. Jackson, I'll ask you because you don't really have a dog in this fight.
Yeah.
So if we have a tie for the week and then we have the rock, paper, scissors game, right? And the guy that won on Friday loses rock, paper, scissors. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I won nincompoops on Friday, but Ken won for the week.
Yes.
So who gets to decide the batting order today?
That would be you, sir.
Huh.
Now, how's that?
Because the rock, paper, scissors is a non-regulation game.
Oh, it's a tiebreaker.
It is a tiebreaker.
I know, Ken, yeah. I know that I benefit from this, but I feel like I'm going to agree with it. What about you?
Well, just put me down as protest. But I'll go along with it.
All right. Ken agrees. Stand by. Hold on. Ken agrees. Parentheses. Asterisk.
Yeah,
under.
Yeah, asterisk.
Under protest. I put an asterisk down for you, Ken.
Yeah. That way my fans will be satisfied.
They know that you lodged an official.
Right. I lodged an official protest.
Kind of like I was doing at the end of the Daytona 500 yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was my guy doing all that bumping and banging to win,
you'd be all right.
I'd be all right with it. But he was banging into my driver, Ken.
Now, isn't that illegal? Are they not supposed to do that?
So this is why I like racing. I like motorsports.
And
I
you
like
can't
NASCAR.
prove that it's intentional.
Well,
can you?
if NASCAR determines based on their expertise and based on the expertise of the general, mood of the drivers,
Right.
that something wasn't, they've got all that telemetry, Ken.
Yeah.
And so if for example, if a driver says, well, I just lost control of the car and I ran into him and I didn't mean to. Well, they can go back and look at the telemetry of the car and they were like, well, hold on a second. You were speeding up. Right. You said you lost control of the car, but your foot never left the accelerator when you rammed into him. So they can kind of sniff that kind of stuff out. But the old saying goes, and it was from the fabulous feature film starring Robert Duvall, kind of tying all this together from Days of Thunder. He wasn't banging. I'm going to get it wrong. Somebody will correct me. He wasn't banging. He wasn't hitting you. He wasn't wrecking you. He was rubbing. And rubbing is racing. He was rubbing. So, the Tyler Reddick fans out there are going to say that Tyler Reddick was rubbing.
He was just rubbing.
I'm a Chase Elliott fan, and he was wrecking.
He was wrecking. He wasn't rubbing.
Yeah, well, we'll get him next week. We got our eyes on him. 45.
Where are they at next week?
I think next week's Atlanta.
Atlanta.
If I'm not mistaken. Which has kind of become a super speedway, too. It's a 1.5 mile track, and Rubbin's racing. Yeah. See, look, Ken.
Yeah, there it is.
I just
Rubbin is racing.
50-02, Rubbin's racing. Betty, if you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing. 634, Rubbin's racing. And then Sally says, based on your agreement to the rule, Ken, Sally says, as Dan would say, duly noted. Duly noted. Duly noted.
That's right. Very well.
Mm-hmm. Very well.
Very well.
Moving on.
Okay, moving on.
Zeke is coming up in a moment. Happy wants to talk about Columbia Power and Water. I'm going to go to Happy first. Hello, Happy.
Okay.
Hello.
This is Mr. Hamby. Hamby.
Hamby?
Mr. Hamby.
Hey, spell it out.
Hamby from Bassett. I was talking about Columbia. Did they think about the drought? A drought? What would happen? We get that every so many years. I was with Coming to tell me in Harwich in 95. There's no rain that summer. The Cumberland River.
Hey,
the water,
hey.
Yeah.
I can't understand a damn thing you're saying, and I'm sorry. I just can't. Is there any way to get a better phone connection here? Or
I'm sorry. Let me try again. Okay, I'm Ronnie Hamby from Madison. I worked at Cumberland Utility of Hermitage. We had drought in 95. The Cumberland River water stunk like algae. No rain.
Mm-hmm.
Cumberland think about a drought situation. If they better, it'd be like NES.
So are you in favor of this proposal?
No. Because I've been over the river several times in Columbia. It's not that wide. It's not that deep. My proposal is they go to the lake that makes that river start to black there. There's going to be enough water to feed your upgrade.
Well, I mean, I think there are, and thank you, sir, for the telephone call, and I appreciate your patience with the phone line situation. It was just a little janky. It was hard to hear. There are several proposals that are very intriguing as to how to solve some of the long-term water issues that might present themselves in Middle Tennessee that don't involve a $520 million price tag, that secondarily don't involve the Columbia Power and Water Company, a controlled municipality, a monopolistic municipality, from controlling even more regions where the people, the ratepayers, don't really have a say in how they engage in their business. It's very similar to NES in that way. So if you're in an unincorporated Murray County and you don't like how Columbia Power and Water is doing their business, who can you elect that will make changes? Nobody. the mayor of the city of Columbia appoints the board. So what if you live in Mount Pleasant, you live in Spring Hill, what are you going to do? Now, I understand that there's a balance that has to be considered between industry and residential customers and commercial, right? So, and industry is a subsection of the commercial industry. But I understand that balance, and I understand that without industry and without commercial businesses coming in that have water needs, that you don't keep up good, economic opportunity for the citizens in the region that you serve. So all of those things kind of go hand in hand. But we can't, throw the baby out with the bathwater. Maybe that's a bad turn of phrase, a bad way to put it. But if you're offering a lithium battery company 7 million, up to 7 million gallons a day, and you're only drawing 20 million gallons? Well, they only draw 1.4 million. Well, what if they wanted all of it? That doesn't seem like a good bargain to me, and that doesn't seem to be looking out for the needs of the greater population. 17 after the hour. Let's try this. I don't know if it'll work or not. Hello, Zeke.
Hey, Matt, great to talk to you as always.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I was wondering if Trump put as much effort into the economy as he does protecting pedophiles, one can make an argument we'll all be rich in like a week or so.
Zeke, are you currently listening to the show?
No.
Mm-hmm. And so you're just calling in with a random topic that we're not currently discussing?
Wait, I'll be floored if you're going to be critical of pedo Donnie.
No. We're not talking about that. We're talking about your choice of subjects. So we're not talking about Donald Trump right now. We're not talking about the Epstein files right now. We're talking about something different. We're talking about something local to the Middle Tennessee area, which I don't expect you would understand anything about it because you don't live here. Where do you live, Zeke?
I live in I split time between New Jersey and Florida.
And you are and you make regular. I mean, and I don't begrudge you this, but I just want to make sure everybody understands it. You regularly call radio shows like ours to impress upon us the importance of the issues that are important to you.
As a longtime conservative, I'm disgusted by MAGA, and I will do everything I can, to mock and shame people for supporting it.
So who was the last conservative you voted for, sir?
Christie. I know. I know. Cute. Go ahead, cute. Go ahead and cue the fat jokes.
I'm not talking. I didn't say anything about his weight. The fact that you consider Chris Christie a conservative is so funny.
Well, can you tell me? Well, wait. Can you tell me?
Oh, that's funny.
Hey,
okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Like Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger. Can you cite me one non-conservative stance by Kinzinger, Cheney, or Christie?
I could, but I'm not going to because here's the deal, Zeke. We're not talking about this right now. No. Let me help you understand something.
You can't.
Let me hold on.
No, because
Zeke, calm down, buddy. Zeke, calm down. Are you ready to get hung up on?
Trump.
Are you ready to get hung up? Are you ready to get hung up on? Because you need to calm down.
Your call screener.
You need to calm down, Zeke, and we can have a conversation. But you're not going to talk over me. You're going to understand the power structure that exists on this radio show, and you should because you call shows all over the country. And as long as you understand that, I'm willing to have a conversation with you. But when you stop understanding that, that's when you get hung up on. You with me?
Fair enough.
All right. So you want to talk about Donald Trump. We're not talking about Donald Trump right now. You need to actually listen to the show. And when we start talking about Donald Trump, you're welcome to call up with your seminar gripe. And you can read off your sheets of paper and all that.
I told your call screener why I was calling.
Mm-hmm. And he wrote down on my screen, Zeke is a seminar caller. Take if you want. Is what he put.
Yeah, well, maybe he should have put the topic as well, because that's what I told him.
Well,
I mean, about the Epstein files.
Zeke, I knew, but I I decided to take your call for my personal amusement, not for your conversational points.
I know this is a very
It makes me very, very amused that you spend the level of time that you do calling radio stations around the country for no other reason than I don't know, to fulfill some sort of mental break that you have.
It's great to be in the 1%.
What did you? What's the last presidential candidate that you voted for on the Republican ticket? Bush?
No. I always get mixed up. Romney or McCain? I forget who ran later. Romney, I guess.
Romney was 2012. So you voted McCain and Romney. Okay. So you're just you're a New Jersey. I'm trying to understand. So you're just you're a New Jersey guy. You've dealt with Trump for a long time in the Northeastern Corridor. You know him from his real estate dealings, yada yada yada, his showman style.
Trump.
And
Trump?
Why'd you love him?
Because I had season tickets with my friends in high school for the New Jersey Generals. Because getting Giant tickets was like trying to win the lottery. So we used to go to General games. We had season tickets, and he was buying up NFL players. We thought dumbass Donnie was the man. He was great.
You didn't he get? He got Herschel. He got Herschel.
Herschel Walker, yeah. Brian Sipe. Long time. I forget what other NFL players. Sipe and Walker were the two main guys.
Yeah, I was very disappointed when I was a kid that Herschel Walker decided to go to the USFL.
That was before Donnie showed his business brilliance. And
so you're pretty. You're an older guy. You're in your 60s, and you decided to deviate from the Republican Party because of Trump. What about Trump led you to your disgust? Succinctly.
Please, you going to give me 5 hours to list the reasons?
No, that's the reason I said succinctly.
He's a wannabe autocrat that does not understand democracy, does not understand what the world order is, and he's a complete narcissist. He doesn't
define democracy for those of us who don't understand it.
What is this? A social studies class? Democracy, where people have a say. I know. We're
you use the word we are, but you use, and I don't get hung up on it. Because constitutional republic is a form of indirect democracy, which direct democracy doesn't really exist anymore. Indirect democracy does. But you used the term, which is the only reason I ask you to define it. You said that Donald Trump doesn't understand democracy, so clearly Zeke does. So tell us what democracy is.
Democracy is where the people have a say, okay? Unless you look at Russia and Putin and say, gee, that's how I want to live, okay? Yeah. You cannot be for Trump.
So the people didn't have a say in November of last year? Or year before last? 2024?
Oh, they did. He won fair and square.
Won fair and square. So that's what democracy looks like, right, Zeke? Isn't that what democracy looks like?
Correct.
Oh,
but it doesn't look like trying to. But you know what it doesn't look like? Trying to overturn an election.
What has no, we're not talking about that. What has Donald Trump done since his election by the people, which you admit was fair and fairly decided, and he won, and you admitted that's what democracy looked like. So what has he done since he thank you. So what has he done since he became president in January of 2025 that you believe goes against our constitutional republic?
I can start very easily with the tariffs. The Constitution says Congress is the rule makers regarding tariffs.
Yeah, and what is the and as smart as you are, Zeke, you would understand that the remedy for any constitutional dispute between the executive branch and the legislative branch goes to where? The judicial branch, which is where it is, and it will be decided by the judicial branch and abided by the executive, Donald J. Trump. So that is a constitutional process that is playing out right now as we speak. Next.
Yep.
So
And
that's
Donnie's
not. So that's
praying
not.
that they-
So that's not extracurricular to the Constitution. I asked you. You said he's a dictator that doesn't understand democracy, and I'm asking you to cite me specific examples, Zink. And by the way, I'm destroying you on this. Destroying you on this.
Oh yeah, you're.
I'm asking you
You're
to cite me.
killing me, yep.
I'm asking you to cite me specific examples that demonstrate to you that Donald Trump is an authoritarian that doesn't know what a democracy is.
Do you think our military should be apolitical?
I would just ask you answer the question, Zeke. It's a pretty simple
I'm asking
concept.
you,
No.
military-
The subject that we are discussing right now is your assertion made by you moments ago that Donald Trump acts as an authoritarian extracurricular to the Constitution of the United States of America, and I'm asking you to cite me an example of how he is doing that.
He writes more executive actions than you take commercial breaks.
What president of the
Everything he does is by
What is the
executive
last
action.
president? What is the last president of the United States of America that signed no executive orders? Zeke.
Who was the last one to do it?
The last president of the United States of America that didn't sign an executive order. You're saying that his issuing executive orders is extracurricular to the Constitution, which is a garbage notion, dumb on its face. So I think I'm just done. I'm done. You've been destroyed, Zeke. Murphy 1, Zeke 0. Try again at a different time. Maybe go to somebody a little less learned in how to deal with people like you, buddy. Or maybe learn a hobby and do something different with your time. It is 26 after the hour on Super Talk. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for USS. That is United Structural Systems. United Structural Systems are the best when it comes to your home. And your home is your sanctuary, right? It's your castle. And if you don't have confidence that you've gotten the foundation, where it needs to be, if you don't have confidence that you don't have any water leaks underneath your home, then you don't have confidence in the home itself, and that's a problem. Tennessee was hit hard several weeks ago by severe weather. Obviously, you guys know that. Since 1994, United Structural Systems has helped thousands of families and businesses restore their home after foundation damage. Often that damage comes from the kind of severe weather that we've just seen. So they don't just fix structures, they restore stability, safety, peace of mind, especially for people recovering from storms, flooding, and shifting ground. Their community involvement supporting local schools, their neighborhoods, organizations like Habitat for Humanity, they reflect their belief that it's not just about helping you get the foundation of your home structurally secure. It's about rebuilding and giving back hope to the neighborhood again. So we invite you to go by USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com. They give peace of mind. United Structural Systems. USSTN.com. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you.
5:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Right now, about 90 miles south of Nashville, deputies in Giles County looking for whoever shot 2 people traveling southbound on I-65 overnight. The gunfire caused the driver, 26-year-old Svensson Simius, to crash before dying at the scene. His passenger, identified as 23-year-old Elda Simius, also suffered a gunshot wound. She was taken to a hospital. She's listed in stable condition. In Rhode Island, a deadly shooting inside an ice skating rink this afternoon where a high school hockey game was taking place. Acting Chief of Pawtucket Police Tina Gonaclaves said her officers found multiple victims inside the building, including the suspected gunman.
The suspect was confirmed as one of those casualties. Later on, we learned that another casualty from the shooting was at the hospital, that they succumbed to their injuries after being at the hospital.
That's Acting Chief of Pawtucket Police Tina Gonkalvis. And it appears the gunman died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. 3 additional people shot remain hospitalized in critical condition. The Pima County Sheriff has officially cleared the Guthrie family of suspects in Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. Sheriff Chris Nano saying in a statement that includes all siblings and spouses as possible suspects in the case, adding they've been nothing but cooperative and gracious, saying they are victims. That means the focus must be on someone else. The backpack seen on Nancy's doorbell video worn by a masked man could help. ABC contributor and retired FBI agent Richard Frankel tells us the fact that it is only sold at Walmart assists in the case.
There is something that would lead, the normal person to think that possibly that person who was purchasing items at a Walmart is connected to this case. And again, that's a lot of the leads that are probably coming in.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Creve Hall got a stalled vehicle on the left shoulder, 65 southbound past Harding Place. Then Berryhill, a crash, 440 westbound, right there at 65. Eastbound 24, it is stop and go, bumper to bumper, pretty much all the way down to Bell Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
What's going on, guys? It's Matt Murphy for the one and only Glock store. Have you been by their facility on Airlane Drive? It's just off of Elm Hill Pike, and that Elm Hill Pike is just down the street from Briley Parkway, and Briley Parkway is convenient to anywhere. They're minutes away from the airport and worth the drive from anywhere. Friends, the Glock store has it going on when it comes to all of your Second Amendment needs. Now, the retail side of things are beautiful, bright. The ceilings are high. The sales folks are friendly. They can help you find that new Gen 6 Glock that you're looking for. Listen, Lenny McGill told us last week they got 30 of the Glock 19 Gen 6 variety in. I expect that they're gone by now, and they're back on pre-order. But they had the 45s, the 17s, and the 19s coming in. And who knows when they'll get more of them. But they get a lot of them. They get them first, and they've got them in the rental department. So you can shoot before you buy. You can try before you buy. And then you can go ahead and pre-order. And when you do, mention my name, and you'll get a free magazine as a result. How about that? Free magazine on us from the Glock store. Look, the retail side of things, Shoot 270, rooms, never lanes, rooms at the Glock store, manufacturing division. We simply have the best when it comes to our options right here in the middle of Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm talking about better than anywhere in the United States of America. It's the one and only Glock store. Glockstore.com or shoot270.com or hit the road, minutes away from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, hello, and hello. Thank you very much for your time and consideration. Whatever time you're able to give us, we're certainly appreciative of it. If you're a non-seminar caller or a seminar caller alike, you may give us a ring. I take all comers. I love talking to folks on the phone. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. Jackson, I got a quick question for you. We got nincompoops on the way. Ken Weaver's done with the real news, at least for the moment. He's got a nincompoop in his midst, I am certain.
I do, boy.
I got a pretty good one myself. And then there's Jackson. Who knows what he'll come up with. But Jackson, my question to you is, have you heard from Mike?
Have not yet.
No Mike in Old Hickory so far.
Maybe the 6 o'clock hour.
Today was Mike's big day.
The return of Mike.
I would have expected that Mike would have had this circled on his calendar. What kind of calendar do you think Mike's got in there in his little office?
Kitten of the Month Club.
Kitten of the Month's pretty good. I was thinking of Outhouse of the Month. You know, I bought one of those for my father-in-law one time.
Mayonnaise Monthly.
I like that.
I could go for that. Oh, July is Hellman's month. Ooh, looky here. August is Dukes.
Oh, you can't beat that Dukes.
My grandma used to, I think you can still buy JFG.
JFG.
Which I think is a generic product. I'm not sure, but I just remember we had JFG, and I was addicted to that stuff, and there's no other flavor like it in the world.
Would you eat it with a spoon?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, just dig right in, boy.
Yes. I'm not afraid of it. There was a time in my life, Ken, when I was a little embarrassed about my love of mayonnaise because anti-mayonnaise people are very judgy.
Yeah, like people who don't like it, they really don't like it.
You like an aioli?
Yes.
What did you say, areola?
Aioli.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard you. Well, I like both.
I put it on hamburgers.
I'll put an aioli. Isn't an aioli just like a flavored mayonnaise?
Yeah. It's aioli sauce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They just call it something fancy so people don't go, I'm eating mayonnaise.
Yeah. You can put sriracha sauce in it. Aioli.
Aioli. Love it. Love it.
Maybe a little bit of olive oil, you know?
First time I ever had that flavored mayo. This is a little braggy.
Yeah.
I was in Amsterdam.
Oh.
Overseas. And they sell off the street over there, Ken. They sell these big cones of what they call frites. I had no idea what a frite was. You know what a frite is, Ken?
I have no idea.
It's a French fry. It's a French fry.
You've never had a pomme frite?
They call them frites over there in Amsterdam. And they serve them in these big cones. And then on the side of one of the cones, there's a little area where they just dump a bunch of delicious aioli, I guess it is, but it was flavored mayonnaise is what it was. And you eat your fries with that mayonnaise, and it is, so good. So
boy.
Good. I'm a little hungry. Tim has written in and said, flavored mayonnaise? You mean tartar sauce? Yeah, I mean, basically.
I like that tartar sauce,
y'all, 2433. Come on.
Well, what'd you say? What are they saying?
Talking about Miracle Whip.
No, sir.
Miracle Whip's too damn sweet.
Too sweet. You can't have sweet.
Too sweet.
I don't know. Sweet's okay. Thousand Island's sweet.
Yeah, but Thousand Island, well, it's a dressing.
Yeah, but that's
burger sauce.
Thousand Island's different.
I mean, you can put it on a burger, but
it's tasty.
Miracle Whip has that weird sweet thing going on. I don't. And look, a lot of people love it. He loves it. I get it. A lot of people love it.
Some people really do like it.
By the way, Ken, we're doing a Presidential Day trivia and the like regarding our favorite presidents of the United States of America. Who was your favorite president there, Ken?
My favorite president was, I cannot remember his name now.
I can't remember either.
Okay, I got to go. Where is it?
Well, see, mine was Calvin Coolidge, a.k.a. Silent Cal. We told the story about Calvin Coolidge at a state dinner. We said, Madam, you lose. Which is, I absolutely love that. Now, I choose to believe that story about Calvin Coolidge. Yeah?
Mine was Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson. I should have remembered
because he had a big old block of cheese in the White House, and he let the public eat it during an open house.
Good man. Good man.
Now, one thing about your man Calvin Coolidge, I bet you didn't know, Brother Murphy.
What's that?
Apparently, he liked to like blow a whistle or ring a bell to have staff rush to the room he was in, and then he wouldn't say anything. Calvin Coolidge, man, he was a character, apparently.
He was an interesting cat.
Yeah, he loved hitting a buzzer to summon staff, only to stay silent when they entered.
Uh-huh. That's right. Calvin Coolidge he was vice president of the United States of America. And on August 2nd, 1923, President Warren G. Harding, who was as corrupt as the day is long, died unexpectedly from a heart attack in San Francisco. He was on a speaking tour. Vice President Coolidge is 19 and 23 now. Vice President Coolidge was in Vermont visiting his family home, his ancestral home.
Mm-hmm.
That home had neither electricity nor a telephone. And so they had to send messenger to Coolidge regarding the president's death. And they had to make him president as quickly as possible, because obviously there's a void there.
Yeah.
He received word by messenger of Harding's death in the dead of night. Coolidge dressed, reportedly said a prayer, and went downstairs and greeted reporters who had assembled on the family porch. His father was a notary public and a justice of the peace, and his father in their family parlor by kerosene lamp at 2:47 in the a.m. on August 3rd administered the oath of office. And afterwards, you know what Calvin Coolidge did?
What?
Without a word, he went back upstairs and went to bed. Middle of the night, bedtime.
That's bedtime.
He returned to Washington, D.C. the next day, and eventually Justice Adolph Holing, and I might be mispronouncing that, of the Supreme Court of the District of Columbia, administered the oath again because they didn't want any questions about a state official administering a federal oath. Eventually ran in 1924 and was reelected. I got more stories. Hey, Jackson.
Yeah.
Who was your president? Yeah, I told you to pick an actual dadgum president. Who's your president?
Well, you made me get rid of Thomas J. Whitmore, the president from Independence Day.
The fictional president from Independence Day,
So
yes.
I went with my second choice, James Marshall from the blockbuster Air Force One. Get off my show. Can't beat Harrison Ford. I dare both of you.
He does make a mighty fine president in the movies.
Man, I'm glad he got that plane down safe and sound because God forbid we'd have a female Glenn Close as president of the United States of America. Because that woman's crazy. She'd have boiled all of our bunnies. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. Insane. Jackson.
Yes.
Harrison Ford was never president of the United States.
He was in my book.
When did that movie come out?
87.
So you're well within the rule that it can't be during your lifetime.
Oh, 97.
Oh, a lot closer.
A lot closer.
But still.
He didn't get a second term.
What'd you say? Get off my show?
Yes.
Get off my show. Worst CGI in the history of movies, y'all.
It was 97.
Worst CGI. I mean, still, I don't care. You need to do it a different way. You need to do modeled. You know what I'm talking about?
What's CGI?
The computer graphics.
Oh, okay.
When they show the plane on fire, Ken, at the end of that movie, those computer graphics, just grossly incompetent. I mean, the movie is serviceable.
Yeah.
Although I differ with people who think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't think it was that all that good.
Right.
But Harrison Ford, pretty good president.
So do I have to try
Fictional.
again?
Yes, you have to. I'm asking for a president, an actual president of the United States. And so I'm looking for a president of the United States of
When
America.
do I have to try again?
6 o'clock hour.
Okay.
After Nincompoops. Nincompoops in the news, which happens right now.
Right now.
Nincompoops in the news.
It is time, friends. You know what the news is. Ken Weaver's been delivering it all President's Day long. I've been opining on said same. It's now time we turn to the Nincompoops. We look all across the state of Tennessee, these United States of America, nay, the globe, and we go to the nincompoops where they live and they breathe. Ken brings a story. Jackson brings a story. Matt brings a winner. And then you get to vote. 615-737-9986. As you know, the previous winner of the previous day determines the batting order of the day. And I'm going to go. I'll tell you what. I have so much confidence in my story. I'm going Ken Weaver, number 1.
Yay!
Jackson Williams, number 2.
2's the worst.
Matt Murphy, number 3.
This is a conspiracy.
You have an opportunity.
I'm calling it President Whitmore, and we're getting this straightened out.
Today is my Nincompoop Independence Day. Ken Weaver, go right ahead, sir.
Drone helps Wisconsin police find and cite a serial park pooper.
Uh-oh.
Happened in the town of Stoughton, Wisconsin. A drone assisted police in identifying and citing a woman accused of repeatedly defecating in a public park. Stoughton police received dozens of complaints about feces and used tissue found along a walking path in the park. Police did not name the park, but said the incidents were ongoing and not isolated. Lieutenant Chad O'Neill said the woman, age 46, is not homeless and does not appear to have mental health issues. She reportedly admitted to relieving herself in the park at specific times based on a personal routine. O'Neill was quoted as saying, when we first learned of it, we thought it was going to be isolated, but then with neighbors and users of the park continuing to call us to complain about it, I realized that it was not going away. The woman was cited for indecent conduct. They caught her with a drone. What?
Ken?
Yeah.
We have a flag on the play.
I've got bad news.
How?
Personal foul, unnecessary repeat. Brother
story.
Weaver.
This is from February 9th.
Yes, I did it last week.
You did?
Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you.
Oh, was it whenever I was out?
I think it probably was.
Son of a biscuit
It must have been, because you're really good at monitoring these stories. But I did do the story, and I wasn't going to call it because I like you, Ken. I would have called it immediately on Jackson, but I like you. Sadly, the audience has spoken.
Where's my trophy?
Although you do
I got it, and you're not taking it from my cold dead hands.
I do think you pronounced the town in Wisconsin properly. I did not. So.
Stoughton?
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get it either.
Well, shoot. I thought I had a really good one.
Well,
there.
it was good. If I recall correctly, Jackson, I think it was a winner for me.
I think that was your winner last week. Also, I really thought Ken was about to swear.
Oh, yeah, whenever I started. Shh.
Shoot.
Shittlesticks.
Ooh, you man. Close. Jackson, go.
Yes.
I mean, Jackson.
Jackson, I think Jackson might have tried to. Jackson dumped you. Jackson dumped you, Weaver.
No.
You dumped him.
He didn't say the word.
He did kind of say the word.
No, he didn't. Shittlesticks.
I'll let that one go, I guess.
I think
it's a D.
Oh, it's a D? It doesn't sound like one.
SHIDD.
Yeah, it's like fiddlesticks.
It sounds like a very unappealing popsicle.
I'm the one that's known as the potty mouth on this show, but it's really Weaver.
An unappealing popsicle.
We should start it.
We're already late.
We should start a business. Come on out to Shindlesticks. Go ahead.
Ken, we're going straight to news. Video shows dumb crook getting stuck in van after trying to steal from it in Hialeah.
Hialeah.
This is in somewhere.
This is starting really good.
Video car man screams for help after police said he tried to rob a landscaping van in Hialeah, but ended up getting locked inside. Dean Young, 26, faces charges of burglary and criminal mischief after the incident on Wednesday in a Hialeah neighborhood. Golly, they're saying that name a lot. The Ring surveillance video shows him getting out of the car, crossing the street, and getting inside the truck. The owner of the van locked the vehicle when he started landscaping. That's when Young began screaming and kicking the van doors for help because he was locked inside. "Help me, I'm inside," Young is heard screaming. Homeowner Nancy Toledo said Young was banging on the door for a while, saying he couldn't breathe.
Nancy Toledo.
The surveillance.
Nancy Toledo.
The surveillance captured officers getting Young out of the van, according to an arrest form. The landscapers.
This feels made up.
It's not. It's from the NBC station in South Florida.
Well, I'll be.
What NBC station?
NBC 6.
Okay, I believe you.
The surveillance captured officers getting Young out of the van, according to an arrest form. The landscapers did not let Young out of the van until police arrived. There were machetes inside the truck, and he could have just come out and hurt anybody, so they left him in there, Toledo said. Young told police that he was handing out business cards when a dog chased him. He got scared and ran into the truck for safety, but the video showed a different story.
Handing out business cards.
Toledo said, I think it's funny. He's a dumb crook. I guess now he's watching the news and inside the jail. Young is currently being held in jail. He was free on bail in a previous case on Thursday. The judge set his bail at $1,500. He will remain in jail.
Hialeah is, I think,
Hialeah.
what you're looking for.
Oh, yeah.
Where is that, Florida?
No clue. I got that from several fine pronouncers on the super text line.
I like Hialeah better.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure you do. All right,
I'll get President Whitmore to change it.
All right, here we go. Real quick. Dutch police have arrested a man for computer hacking after accidentally handing him their own sensitive files and then getting mad because he did not give them back to him. So they arrested him. The police said on Monday that a 40-year-old man from Ritterkirk, Denmark, was arrested on Thursday. I don't know why I used that accent. I don't know if that's a Dutch accent or not. Was arrested after he wound up with confidential documents, thanks to what officers acknowledge was their own, I'm reading for the story here, their own cock-up, which is the way that they say screw up in the Netherlands. Chain of events reads less like a breach and more like an own goal. In connection with separate investigations, the man contacted police February the 12th to report he had images that might be relevant. An officer responded by sending him a link so he could upload the files, except the link was sent, he sent a download link. So he gave the man access to all of their confidential police documents. The man did not actively break in. He did not exploit any vulnerability. He simply clicked the link that he was sent by the police. And because he did so, they arrested him.
Man.
And charged him with computer hacking. Dutch police claim they told him to stop. They told him to delete the material, but he allegedly said that he would only do so if he got something in return. He did. He got something in return. A trip in a nice police car to the police station. Everyone involved in this situation, particularly the police, they're a bunch of dadgum nincompoops.
Took him to the Hooskow.
Took him to the Hooskow, but to the old Gray Bar Hotel, the old Gray Lady, the Joint.
The Joint.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the lockup.
The Clink.
The Clink.
Because he clicked on the link that they sent him. That's how we play Nincompoops in the news. You may not vote for Ken Weaver because Ken Weaver had a flag on the play.
Son
I'm
of
sad
a
to tell you.
biscuit eater.
You can, if you want to vote for a loser, vote for Jackson, or you can vote for me. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. That's how we play Nincompoops in the news. We'll get back to the real news momentarily. Donald Trump is pressuring John Thune in the Senate on the SAVE Act, and he might have some progress as Bill Hagerty, our own Tennessee senator, says, I think we might be close to the walk and talk and filibuster. That on the way next on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Vote for Murphy. If you're tired of health insurance that feels like a mathematics exam, might I recommend Shane Ring and Cover Nash. Shane and his team are great. Shane will get to the bottom of any issue you might have with your health insurance, and he wants to He wants to disabuse all of us of the notion that you only have a particular moment in time during the course of a year where you can make changes with your insurance. You know, Obamacare's after it again. This government-run nonsense. Premiums go up time and again. They're shooting up, sometimes even tripling with sky-high deductibles to match. You don't need to put up with that. Friends, you do not have to play by Washington's rules. Shane Ring and Cover Nash can help you cut your cost by 40 to 60%. Keep your doctor, keep your hospital, skip the government red tape. That's what it's all about. So if you're self-employed, uninsured, or simply tired of paying too much, have a conversation with Shane Ring. He's never going to try to sell you something. He's never going to try to angle you to a program or a plan that isn't in your best interest. I trust Shane, and I know you can as well. 615-465-0023, 465-0023, or online at covernash.com, covernash.com.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Right now, about 90 miles south of Nashville, the Giles County Sheriff's Office got an active investigation underway after a man was killed and a woman injured. Someone in another car fired on them as they were southbound on 65 late last night. Investigators initially believed they were responding to a crash before discovering both people inside had been shot. The driver, 26-year-old Svensson Simius of Florida, died at the scene. His passenger, 23-year-old Eldest Simius of Indiana, stable after being rushed to the hospital. And a deadly shooting today inside a Rhode Island ice skating rink where a high school hockey game was underway. Acting Chief of Pawtucket Police Tina Goncalves said her officers found multiple victims inside the building, including the suspected gunman.
Upon arrival, police were met with several people, obviously inside the arena, and there was 2 casualties within the arena.
It appears the gunman died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. 3 additional people shot remain hospitalized in critical condition. And the Pima County Sheriff has officially cleared the Guthrie family as suspects in Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. Sheriff Chris Nano saying in a statement on Monday today that includes all siblings and spouses as possible suspects in the case, adding they've been nothing but cooperative and gracious, saying they are victims. That means the focus must be on someone else. ABC contributor and retired FBI agent Richard Frankel says that's why a hit on the DNA found on a glove could be helpful.
The DNA, that's hopefully we're going to hear something in the next 12 to 24 hours, at least if something is in the CODIS system.
That CODIS is Combined DNA Index System. That's a database of DNA used by the FBI. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Goodlettsville got a crash reported. Dickerson Pike at Long Hollow Pike. In Jolton, a wreck. 24 westbound before Whites Creek Pike, exit 35. And in Bordeaux, an accident. Clarksville Pike at Buena Vista Pike, South Hamilton Road. And eastbound 24 from 440. A complete stop and go before Briley Parkway. And then it is brake tapping all the way down to Smyrna. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's a knockout victory for Murphy. I mean, a number of you are voting for Weaver. I see what you're doing there. You can't vote for Weaver. It was a repeat story. But, you know, Jackson, I would have thought that you would have gotten a few more votes. No, not the case.
They're against me.
You're almost like the heel now. You know what I mean? Like in wrestling terminology.
I don't know why they want you to succeed.
I think they're just being nice to me because they, as I've been told on a couple of occasions, those watching the Super Talk television side of things, I just got told that I look exhausted. You think I look exhausted? I mean, my eyes are always kind of tired looking. It's just, you know what? I quote the great Ringo Starr. It's just me face. I feel pretty good.
Is that the only time Ringo's been quoted?
Oh, no. Ringo's been quoted plenty of times, I'm sure. But only time on this show. Yeah, when the Beatles came over to the United States of America, they were doing a press conference. You know, Ringo has that face. I mean, he's got these, and I've got him too, kind of the droopy eyes that kind of make him look sad. Kind of the mouth and the droopy eyes. And they said that a reporter said, Ringo, you look sad all the time. Are you sad? And he said, no, it's just my face. It's just my face. For me, it's just my face. Although I am probably not 100%, maybe a little bit exhausted. Back still, janky, getting over that. But thank you for your concern. I appreciate it. 615-737-9986. I frankly am getting a little bit concerned for Mike and Old Hickory. Would you dare say that Mike called every day during his ban? It was certainly most days.
Not every day. I think he got the message eventually. Last week or so, he hadn't really called.
Okay.
Although I don't know if he called while we were gone.
Maybe, maybe not. We're looking for his call today. Today is his first day ban-free, and I'm not necessarily looking for his call particularly, but he has an opportunity to speak his truth to your power on Super Talk 99.7 WT. And in the meantime, we've been playing a little game of presidential trivia, or at least talking about our favorite presidents of the United States of America. If we had planned this bit any more broadly, we would have Hail to the Chief when I reintroduce the bit. But we don't, and so we didn't, and we don't. So there you go. I'll get into our current president of the United States of America in a moment and what he's trying to do to compel the Congress of the United States, particularly the Senate, to vote on the SAVE Act. I do have a thought on the SAVE Act on the super text line where 3740 says, how does the SAVE Act not violate the poll tax part of the 24th Amendment, the Constitution of the United States? I'd love to answer that question, and will do so. 7885 says, Mike's being passive-aggressive. Maybe so. But I'm on record as saying that my favorite president of the United States of America that was not president during my lifetime, and frankly, this would be my favorite president regardless, is Calvin Coolidge, a.k.a. Silent Cal, the 30th president of the United States of America, served from 1923 to 1929, served a partial term in office as he ascended to the presidency upon the death of Warren G. Harding. Then he was reelected. Calvin Coolidge took a very hands-off approach to the presidency, believing, as he most famously said, the business of America is business. He took a laissez-faire, his word, attitude toward the presidency, meaning that the presidency serves best when it serves only absolutely necessary to the function of the federal government. And the federal government should only serve in those capacities in which the state or local governments cannot serve the citizens that they represent. I believe in this philosophy of government. I believe that Calvin Coolidge was the only libertarian to be president of the United States of America. He did not consider himself a libertarian. He was listed as a Republican, but I believe in his heart, in his mindset, and in his application, he was most certainly a libertarian president of the United States. He was also, for a guy that didn't talk very much, he was great with a quip and a quote. So I told you the story about Calvin Coolidge with the woman at the state dinner and Madame You Lose. I believe that story. Now, whether it happened or not, it's anecdotal or whatever. I don't know. I don't know that I believe this next story, but it was widely circulated as has happened, as it reportedly happened. During the 1920s, there were a number of construction projects going on in and around Washington, D.C., and the President of the United States was invited to most of them because he's the President of the United States of America. Calvin Coolidge detested these events. He detested them because he detested pomp and circumstance that came along with being president, and he did not favor a lot of chitter-chatter, jibber-jabber in public. Didn't like meetings, didn't like public speaking. He did so begrudgingly because, well, it was a part of the job. And so it was that he came to a groundbreaking ceremony for yet another government building in Washington, D.C. He was driven up to the groundbreaking ceremony where they had the, you know how they do, they have the preloaded, pieces of dirt, and all the dignitaries line up there in their suits, and they got the ribbons and the big scissors and whatever they're doing, and they've got the spades of dirt, and they will ceremoniously shovel the first spade of dirt, and then everybody says something and they go home. And so the president being there, he is offered the opportunity to do the dirt spading. And so he took the gold-plated shovel and he was handed it, and he went up to the plot of earth that was pre-designed to be easy to, and he dug down in there as deeply as he could, and he shoveled out the dirt, and he took a step back, and everyone applauded and stood by quietly as they anticipated that the president was going to say a few things. And one of the individuals in charge of the event stepped up to the president and said, "President Coolidge, we were hoping that you might say a few words." And at the time, the president took a step forward, looked down at the plot of earth that he had just put a shovel into, looked up at everyone around him and said, "There are some mighty fine earthworms in that hole." And he turned around and got in his car, and they left. And that is Calvin Coolidge. Jackson, have you found a new president?
Yes.
You have?
I have.
This is legit.
Yep.
Jackson, who's your president?
My favorite president is the unnamed president in National Treasure 2 Book of Secrets because he's down to help with the treasure hunt.
Jackson. What do you mean the unnamed president? You can't even name him?
He doesn't have a name. He's just the president.
Who's he played by?
Bruce Greenwood.
Who the hell's that?
The president.
Jackson, can you think of no president that existed before you?
Oh,
like
I can think of a lot of them, but this makes you angry, and this is a lot funnier.
So we went from, who was the first guy, Independence Day?
Yeah, Whitmore.
Yeah, to the second one was
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford, get off my show. And now this, National Treasure, Nick Cage.
I got another one.
Who you got?
We're going to go.
Is this going to be better?
Yes, it's much better.
Okay.
We're going to go Ronald Reagan.
Oh, that's good. Ronald Reagan.
But the fictional version from the Netflix TV show Stranger Things, which he does not appear, but he is campaigning for president.
What? See, now you're violating the rule. That came out while you were alive.
But it's set in the 80s.
Mr. Loophole. I think you think you're real funny, don't you? I think you're real funny. Speaking of presidents, in all seriousness, I have this up on my wall in my home, and it's if not my favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes on planet Earth. I've always said that my favorite quote is from Mark Twain, and the quote is, "If you have to eat two frogs, eat the big frog first." It's a go homer, as you get it when you're going home. But I love it. I absolutely love it. It goes to determination, and it goes to actually my favorite quote, which is from Calvin Coolidge. If you have to eat two frogs, eat the big frog first. You know why, Jackson?
Because you'll be full and maybe you don't have to eat the second frog?
No, you got another frog coming. You might as well tackle the big job first. If you got two jobs that you don't want to do, might as well do the big one first.
Isn't frogs pretty tasty?
Frog legs, maybe. If you have to eat two frogs, eat the big frog first. But my favorite quote, and there's nothing funny about this one, but it is true. And like I say, I have it captured in a frame on the wall of my office, and it is from Calvin Coolidge. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Calvin Coolidge, 30th President of the United States of America. 19 after the hour, your call's coming up, and why our current president, number 47, needs to continue his pressure campaign on John Thune and others. And I'll answer the question as to why the 24th Amendment to the Constitution does not preclude the SAVE Act. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling. Man, the weather's been weird over the last several days, and I guess weird in a good way, as the temperatures have gotten back up into the 70s. We're forecasting near record temperatures for the next several days, and that means you're probably turning that AC on. But before you know it, we'll get a cold snap, and you'll be turning the heater on. This puts a strain on your system, and Jeff Eddy understands it. And it's also a good time to review whether or not the heater is working properly, and if not, give Jeff and his team a call. And, friends, it is a wonderful call to make. Because Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling, they're going to help keep overhead down. They're never going to charge you overtime for nights or weekends if your system goes down. Secondarily, they believe that they have the best value, and I believe they have the best value around when it comes to tune-ups, $125 no matter where you might be in their service area. Plus, they're an Elite Pro partner with Rheem, so when it comes time, and eventually it will, you can trust that they're telling you the truth, and you can trust that they will fix your unit efficiently, and they will recommend the right unit for you and your family. EfficientHVAC.net, EfficientHVAC.net, or call 615-784-4424, 784-4424 for our friends at Efficient. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I've broken one of my cardinal rules. It's not a hard and fast rule where I keep it every single day, but I do not make it a practice to eat anything while I do the radio show. Have you noticed this, Jackson? I don't eat during the show, typically. But I was feeling peckish, and so I had myself a bit of a snack, and now I think I've got something in my teeth, and it's making... Why are you giggling?
I feel like you eat.
I don't eat during the show.
Not often.
Right after.
Yeah, the second 7 o'clock hits.
The second 7 o'clock, you see me getting in my bag for a snack. But typically, I don't eat during the show. I try not to. Anyway, my apologies if I smack on you. 25 after the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, so it is a kind of a holiday edition. No, look, I'll save the most controversial thing that I'm going to say to you for the last 30 minutes of the show. I fell into the JFK story, assassination, theories, right around the time that Oliver Stone's JFK came out. Oliver Stone's JFK is a conspiracy theorist's dream. I'll leave it at that. I almost said something different, but I don't want to debase the show. Jackson's already used the dump button once today. I love how you're so quick on the dump, by the way. You're so funny.
It sounded like you said the word.
It did. He claims they were D's. It didn't sound like D's to me.
I heard it, and it was a reflex just to...
I love it. I love it because one of these days I'm going to say something I'm not supposed to say, and you're going to dump it, and I'm going to thank you. I'm going to come in there and hug your neck.
Like the time with the Nashville district attorney?
I did not... the district attorney in the city of Nashville's name is, slowly now, Glenn Funk.
You did not say that.
And that's not what I said. That's not what I said. And whether you mean to say that or not, saying it is trouble. And so Jackson rightly dumped me. That's the second time. You've dumped me, I think, more times than all of my previous producers combined. I think you've dumped me like 3 times now. Because occasionally I get nasty. Anyway. Where was I? Oh, JFK. So I saw the movie JFK, Conspiracy Theorist Dream, and I dove into it, and I came to the conclusion after reading a number of books, I think Case Closed was one of them, Reasonable Doubt was another one, that I am of the belief, have been since my youth, that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. And nothing that I have seen has pushed me off of that model. I understand why people don't believe that. I understand why there's been movement, especially in the last 30 years on this subject. When I first started believing that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, I was in the majority. I was a normie. Now, if I go to a party and tell everyone that I think that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, they try to help me get a drink and sit me down in a corner somewhere and put a dunce hat on my head. I mean, they treat you like you just ate a bug. What? Oh, I didn't know you were a moron, they say to themselves. But I still believe that. And, Chris, you're right. I think Lee Harvey Oswald killed the president of the United States of America, and I believe that he was the only individual. Look, I know people that believe that Officer, was it Tippin, was in on it and was the grassy knoll guy. And it was his, so, right? It was his job to take out Oswald, but Oswald got wise, and Oswald took Tippin out, and then Ruby, who was coordinating, I mean, I know all of the theory. I know the CIA angle, and I know the Mafia angle, and I know the Cuban angle, and I know the Johnson angle. I know all of them. But I'm not here to debate or litigate that. What I am here to say is that that is a fairly controversial take. Here's another one. There might be some form of intelligent life elsewhere in the universe. Statistically, from a data standpoint, it makes sense. The solar system, and beyond that, the universe itself, is incomprehensibly large. Incomprehensibly large. And so it makes sense that somewhere, if you set 1 million monkeys in front of 1 million typewriters and give them 1 million years, as the saying goes, at some point, one of them is going to randomly bang out Hamlet. Right? I mean, just if you give, I mean, the phrase, if you give an unlimited amount of monkeys, an unlimited amount of time with an unlimited amount of typewriters, at some point they're going to write Huckleberry Finn. So I believe that there is perhaps intelligent life somewhere else in the universe. I don't believe for a second, for a nanosecond, that any intelligent life has visited Earth. For any number of reasons. Number one, space travel is nothing like we've seen it in television shows. It doesn't work that way. And you can say, well, your brain just can't comprehend what they figured out about physics. I mean, physics in and of itself, you would have to explain to me some sort of wormhole jumping that has to exist because of the sheer distances involved. And even if a technology, even if an intelligent design has somewhere on the universe figured all of that out, why would they come to the trouble? Why would they go to the trouble of coming to see us? Because if they have figured out the levels of technology and advanced intelligence and multidimensional time warping and all of that it takes to span those distances, why would they come to see what to them amounts to a roach? We would be a caterpillar to them. Not even as interesting as a cat. I mean, we would just be, we would make great pets. That's about it.
They heard we have good snacks.
I don't know. I don't know that we've got snacks good enough. I think they're ultra processed, according to RFK. What's that? I mean, that's the song, right? We'd make great pets. If they did visit us, if some sort of insanely advanced intelligent technology did visit us, do you honestly believe that they wouldn't poke us and say, hey, we're here. What's up? How are y'all? And probably then proceed to destroy us? But then you could say, well, this advanced technology is so intelligent and so beyond you, Murphy, that maybe they have tried to reach out and we just can't comprehend the way that they're doing it. Okay. I do not believe for a second that any sort of alien life, intelligent alien life, has visited planet Earth. And that's my hot take. 32 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7. We'll get the actual. Will you give us an actual president before we go? Thank you very much, and please.
I've given you 4.
You know, I'm starting to agree with 8018, who says, you know, Jackson is a silly goomer, and it's really just annoying. That's what he said. Or she. I say the same thing. You know what? If you keep this up, I'm going to tell everybody about your love of candles. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. I give the Wellness Institute my seal of approval on this deal that could change your life, and I want to tell you about it. Spinal decompression is the best that you're going to find to alleviate the pain in your body, and the 2026 special is simple. 47% off. That number is pretty significant. 47% off non-surgical decompression. And they are the first and only office in the state of Tennessee to have the new HydroWave device. If you have back pain or neck pain, sciatica, slipped or bulging discs, friends, you need this new technology. The HydroWave involves stimulation of your very own stem cells. They are, like I say, the first and only to have this new HydroWave technology in the state of Tennessee. Robot lasers and anti-gravity machines as well. Dr. Mitchell is an innovator. Dr. Mitchell believes in bringing the next and best new things. He's actually a creator who's working on new machines, and he wants to help you get a pain-free life going in 2026. It is possible. Call today. The Wellness Institute of Nashville at 615-246-5009. That's 615-246-5009 or painisbad.com. The expertise is available to you at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. So, once again, 47% off. Ask about the HydroWave, 615-246-5009 or painisbad.com. Just to honor our boy, and I've previewed this, by the way. You don't have to worry about it.
You smell that? Napalm, son. Nothing else in the world smells like that. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. You know, one time we had a hail bomb for 12 hours. When it was all over, I woke up. find one of them, not one stinking big body. Smell. You know that gasoline smell? Oh, hell. It smells like victory. Someday this war's gonna end.
The great Robert Duvall in a fabulous scene from the tremendous 1978, I want to say, movie Apocalypse Now. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. The better line is, someday this war is going to end. The even better line is Charlie Don't Surf, where the kid he was talking to there was a surfing champion back in the States, and he designed his regiment so he could get him over to his platoon so that he could surf with him. Anyway, you folks that know Apocalypse Now know that. Love, love, love. And Augustus McCrae from Lonesome Dove, one of my favorites as well. The great Robert Duvall. What a life well lived to the age of 95 years old. We're going to get, by the way, Jackson, welcome officially to the Matt Murphy Show. You're now being attacked for no reason on the Super Text line.
What did I do?
You won't give an actual president, and some are speculating that because of that you must be a leftist, a Democrat. Let me tell you something.
That is one of the more ridiculous arguments, because it wouldn't be a president that I could have voted for, or
right. But there,
really?
and frankly, if you said John F. Kennedy, that's like saying a Republican nowadays. Although some want to know more about the candles, we won't harp on that. Well, No. 6173 says, tell me more about the candles. You bought a candle. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's really all
There's
it is.
nothing wrong with that. There's 2433 says, are the candles strategically placed in the bathroom that Jackson loves? No. 3347 is the one that I was referring to when I said welcome to the show, because they're on you. I mean, they are on you, boy. They're like, Jackson does nothing more than act like a petulant child that will not follow the rules.
I got 2 words.
What are your 2 words?
Wah, wah.
Is that your president? President
No.
Wah Wah?
No.
Do you have a president?
I do.
Okay, let's go.
Well, Ken took mine. That's why I really started this bit. Ken took my president, and
Andrew
I didn't have
Johnson.
anything to
Yeah,
do.
that's fair.
So I decided to make something up and have some fun with it. If you didn't like it, tough. Teddy Roosevelt.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's an easy one.
Talk softly and carry a big old stick.
And he got shot in the chest and still finished his speech. That's really cool.
And I think that there was something like a cigarette case or something or another.
It was a
that helped,
steel eyeglass case and a 50-page folded in half speech.
that protected him from death.
Yes.
That was back in the day where
back then you get shot in the chest, it's over for you, big dog.
it was also back in the day where regularly people were just walking up and shooting at presidents, like McKinley. Just, take care of business over there. 0071 says the 1978 movie The Cat from Outer Space comes to mind. I guess that's in reference to my non-belief that
what about E.T.?
We've had any intelligent life that has descended upon us. No, I don't believe E.T. is an actual thing. I think E.T. is a...
Are you saying Steven Spielberg lied to us?
I am telling you that. So 5042 says, I don't think Jackson's a liberal Democrat. I just think he went to public school. One of the things I love about Jackson is, and you'll need to know this, Jackson does a great job at what he does. And I try to do a great job at what I do. And one of the things that I've experienced is when you get a producer that has real strong political feelings, it is a recipe for disaster, at least for me. And Jackson doesn't give a rip. Now, Jackson agrees with me on a lot of things, and I don't know, he probably disagrees with me on a lot of things. But we both agree on this. Jackson is...
I am much better at being funny than I am about talking politics.
Well, there you go. And you're pretty good.
Or I think I'm funny.
And you're a pretty funny guy. And yes, most folks are believing that you have redeemed yourself in your selection of presidents of the United States of America. He's no Calvin Coolidge, but he's pretty good. Craig is up next. Hey, Craig, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for taking my call, Mr. Murphy. I want to say Reagan's my favorite right off the top. And most of the favorites have been either shot or shot at. But I do like a fictional president, Merkin Mifflin from Dr. Strangelove, who is really based on Adlai Stevenson.
My favorite line from Strangelove, gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
There's no fighting in the war room.
Yep.
My favorite instance is where George C. Scott, who is actually Curtis LeMay, who ran for vice president, 1968 with Wallace. They ask him, can a real good pilot get a B-52 through the Russian defenses?
Oh,
and he just goes off on how great he could. And
what a great speech.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, keep it up. I appreciate you calling out Zeke, but it kind of went on too long, but it gave me a chance to take a beer break. Y'all have a great afternoon, brothers. I'm 3888, and I live in Goodwater, Hickman County, also known as Bon Aqua. Bye.
That's how you make a telephone call to a radio show. Craig, that's pretty good. Credit where credit due. Yeah, what a great movie. And I knew the Adlai Stevenson reference. I did not know that George C. Scott based his general on a particular person, but you're right. That monologue where he goes, he gets so enamored with those pilots, and you get the right guy, and he just sails in there, and he's doing his wings, and he's all like so nice and tight. There's another moment in that movie. Well, I mean, there's one where the general was talking about they're stealing our precious fluids. That's one thing. But toward the end, they start explaining what they're going to have to do now that it's inevitable that we're going to have a nuclear holocaust. And because the two fail-safe systems, if you've never watched Strangelove, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But in the movie, our fail-safes do not work. And we launch an attack on Russia or the Soviet Union at the time because we thought the Soviet Union was attacking us. Turns out the Soviet Union wasn't attacking us. And so now the Soviet Union is going to attack us because we're attacking them and nobody can call anybody back. And so there's going to be nuclear annihilation. And everybody's upset and everybody's, thinks it's horrible. And then one of the people, and I think it was Dr. Strangelove who started explaining how they were going to have to repopulate the earth. And he said, we're going to have to have at least 10 women for every man. And all of the guys that he's talking to realize that they're going to be one of the men, and they're going to have at least 10 women, if not more, available for them. And then suddenly it's not so bad to these dudes. It's a great black comedy if you've never seen it. Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. It's a movie that you probably would have already seen had it not screwed up our movie segment on
When did it come out?
On Fridays. I'm guessing 1961, 62. Black and white film. My favorite film director, Stanley Kubrick, did it. But I could be wrong on the year. Let me find out. But a great film. I'll tell you after the break. I will also explain to you why the 24th Amendment does not in any way apply to the SAVE Act. All you need to do is go read the 24th Amendment. But I was asked the question, and answers are forthcoming on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And Dr. Strangelove was 1964, by the way, 1964. Contours LLC is 2026, baby. And it's got you written all over it. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about your body. And look, I'm not here to get personal with you. I'm here to tell you this, that if you're looking to lose some inches around your midsection, around your waist, around other parts of your body, and if you simply can't get it done, you feel like you're exercising like you used to, and you're eating better than you've ever eaten, and you're still not losing the weight in some of those places, look, it's difficult to get rid of the stubborn fat that keeps you from looking your best in certain areas and certain places, and some places are harder than others. Well, the red light technology at Contours is the perfect solution for you. And all I want you to do is make a call. All I'm asking, and you call right now, and you'll get a response because Keith and Stephanie and the rest of the team, they want to make sure you understand they're here for you, whether it's your gut or your loved handles or your man boobs or your neck or wherever on your body you're looking to lose inches, they can make it happen. It's painless. It is safe. It's effective. I've done it. I lost 2.67 inches. And I'm about to go back, by the way, to Contours LLC because I got, I've been trying to lose a few pounds in the new year. I've been able to get it off in certain places, and I know who to call. I'm not just a spokesperson. I am a patient of Contours LLC, and I want you to be as well. 615-236-9960. 615-236-9960. You're online at contoursllc.com. Contoursllc.com. What do you have to lose? Butt inches. That guy right there knows what he's talking about when it comes to turf and Dickens. He also knows what he's talking about when it comes to protecting your property. Where do you keep your most important valuables? Where do you keep them secure from theft or fire? Do you hide them in a box, in a closet, or in a drawer in the bedroom under your bed? There's no better way to secure your valuables than to purchase a quality safe from Nashville Safe House. Of course, they have almost 200 safes right there on display in their showroom. On display, they have another 400 or so in their warehouse. They have more safes than anyone in the business. I would put them up against anyone. They have more Brownings. They sell more Brownings than anyone in the business. They've got Rhino, Superior, Champion, Fort Knox, names that you know and trust. And they've got a vast array of sizes and shapes and fire ratings available for you and a price point that's right for you. Go see Mark and his team. Go see Jill right there in the lobby area. You'll see Donald Trump on one end. You'll see the Murphy special on the other end. Jill right in the middle. Mark, I don't know where Mark is. Find out when you stop by the Safe House. Go to NashvilleSafeHouse.com. NashvilleSafeHouse.com. Remember, gun safes are always sales tax free at Nashville Safe House. Again, for 2026. Nashville Safe House, located on 4th Avenue South across from City Cemetery. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. $24.33 wants to know if your candle was sold by Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't even think I understand that reference. Actually, I do, now that I think about it. And I'm sorry I brought it up. Do you understand the reference?
No.
You're a better man for it. Senator Bill Hagerty has made several appearances, obviously, on our radio show over the years. He appears regularly on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, whether it's Dan Mandis and Nashville's Morning News or Matt Murphy and the afternoon show. And now he has appeared on one of the Sunday weekend shows, confirming that the United States Senate is considering to use the talking filibuster to press forward on the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, or the SAVE Act, which earlier this month was passed by the House of Representatives, and it is sitting in limbo in the United States Senate. U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn has sponsored the current version of the bill since last year. Hagerty joined a number of Republicans who co-sponsored the bill last month. And speaking to one of the Sunday shows, he said new support by U.S. Senator Susan Collins would enable Republicans to move forward. I applaud Senator Collins for coming on board. That gives us the votes necessary to do what we can to get it to the floor. We're talking about the talking filibuster, and that is a way to get it done. Now, I had an alert listener that wanted to know, hey, how does this not violate the 24th Amendment of the Constitution? Now, I don't know if this person is trolling or if they are genuinely confused. The 24th Amendment says the right of citizens of the United States to vote in any primary or other election for president or vice president, for electors for president or vice president, or for senators or representatives of Congress shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state by reason of failure to pay any poll tax or other tax. Section 2, the Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. The SAVE Act, actually, it's right there in the text of the 24th Amendment what the SAVE Act is trying to do. It says the right of citizens of the United States to vote in any primary or other election. The SAVE Act is doubling down on that. It's actually Congress enforcing the article with appropriate legislation by making sure that a citizen's right to vote is not watered down by a non-citizen having the opportunity to vote. And it's not a tax. Matter of fact, most states that I know of will offer you free opportunities upon application for legal identification to make sure that you have the opportunity to vote. I'll have much more to say about this in the coming days and weeks, as hopefully the SAVE Act has moved forward through the talking filibuster, forcing the Democrats to either get off their tuchuses and actually filibuster or get out of the way. Most of the American people want the SAVE Act. They need the SAVE Act. They know that the filibuster is just nonsense in this case. That's going to wrap it up for us. Watch a Robert Duvall movie tonight. For Jackson Williams, for Ken Weaver, and for the rest of the crew, we thank you so much for being a part of our President's Day episode. Until next time, Matt Murphy speaking and saying, hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.